It's a great day for basketball. Great day for baseball here as we are at Veterans Memorial Complex. So we got a special game, seeing as how this is not Thursday, this is Wednesday, so we're going to do this a day early. Of course, we're going to play tomorrow in Clovis, doubleheader. We'll talk about that later on, but let's talk about some more sponsors, and without them, of course, we would not be able to get on the air. I'd like to thank following: The Coffee House, Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, The Model, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, First American Bank of Hobbs, Hydrotech Services, Divine Energy, and Ampersand Media. All right, and you also want to congratulate the C team of Hobbs as they close out their season with victories against JAL. They were close games, but they were able to get those victories. First game was final score was 12-8. Final score on the second game was a little closer, 11-9. Nevertheless, though, they were able to defeat JAL in both of those games. So congratulations once again to the Hobbs Eagles C team for ending their season on a high note. And we're hoping that district play will continue on well for Hobbs. They were unfortunately unable to get that first victory against Roswell last week, but they made it, came back and won 2 at home, and they also increased their home streak, or their winning streak at home as well. Talking about all that and more. Just making sure that we have this on, and we'll be going on in about, well, I don't know exactly when, but I know the game's going to start around 4 o'clock, and we'll be having some coverage live. Me, myself, Ron Gunter, along with Ty Friend and Tiff back at the station. We're going to make sure that you get the best coverage possible for the Hobbs Eagles, your Hobbs Eagles, as they go against these Clovis Wildcats. Be back in just moments, tell you all about it, and, of course, have the play-by-play and everything else that goes on with this game right here on your Eagles stations, whether it be on Cool 95.7's Facebook page. We also have it on HobbsAmerica.com, and yes, you got it on YouTube on the Hobbs Sports Channel. Welcome, everyone, to baseball, Hobbs Eagle baseball to be precise. Your Hobbs Eagles will be facing the Clovis Wildcats here at Veterans Memorial Complex. We got a good game going on, and we're going to go ahead and get into it because time is of the essence. Me and Ty Friend here, and we're going to get you started on some things, some stats, some happenings that have been going on as district has been continuing on. This is the second series of district. Hobbs is 2-1, Clovis is 1-2, and they're desperate in trying to get some victories and get back into the playoff game. They're only one ranked under 13th. Clovis is trying to swallow at the same time. Hobbs ranked at number 12.
Yeah, Eagles definitely got the 2 wins here at Sportsman's Park last week to go 2-1 against the Coyotes. Started off the series 10-0 in a deficit on the road, but came back in some close ones, 4-3 and 12-11. And boy, Ron, what an exciting game in that 12-11 matchup. Eagles getting 10 runs in the 5th inning. They were trailing 6-0 through 4, got the 10 to take a 4-run lead, but then spotted 5 more runs to Roswell in the top of the 7th, so they were trailing by a couple at the end. Hobbs getting 2 runs at the bottom of the 7th, their last at bat to get the victory, 12-11. And again, getting the 2 wins, very critical to win your home games because you know some of these other teams you're going to have to play on the road a couple of times, which you'll have to do against Clovis tomorrow.
Exactly, and you always want to win every single game in district. In fact, Hobbs is on a 6-game winning streak at home, and they want to continue that. Of course, they have 1 here and then 2 next week against Carlsbad. But, of course, you got to focus on this one, even though Hobbs has won the last 9 out of 10 games against Clovis, but the last one was a bit of a shocker. It was 11-4 was the final, and that is, of course, meaning that Clovis has now got a 1-game winning streak against Hobbs that Hobbs is going to have to overcome and get back on the winning side on. Of course, today is a great game, or a great day for weather-wise for a game.
Yeah, definitely a little bit overcast. Some winds blowing probably 5 to 10 miles per hour. A heat around the 83 range, somewhere around there. But only 1 game, so we don't have to really worry about any big fronts coming in or anything like that.
Exactly.
We should mention the Clovis matchup with Carlsbad last week. Kind of a close situation going on with that one as well. And the Clovis Wildcats playing some tough balls. They get the win in the first game of that series, the 2-banger to finish up the 3-game series.
Exactly. They did get 1 out of 3. Last year they didn't get any at all. They lost all 3 games against Carlsbad, came into a Hobbs, and, of course, as you know, Hobbs had struggled against Roswell and only had 1 out of 3 in that one. In fact, it was weird that last year it was an 8-1 game for both victories, or at least 1 victory for Roswell and 1 victory against Clovis for the Hobbs Eagles. So it kind of looked like, is this going to be deja vu or is it going to be something different? But for a moment we were concerned about that simply because we thought that Hobbs would go on that 3rd game loss, but didn't happen. Hobbs did win last year. No, actually, no. They won the first 2, and then they lost the 3rd one against Clovis. That's right. And ended up having that 1-game losing streak against this Clovis squad.
Last week, Clovis knocked off Carlsbad 7-6. They were actually down 6-0 in the 4th, and then they scored 7 runs in the 7th to get the winner on that one. And they did leave 11 players on base, but they still get the win regardless. Carlsbad came back in the 2nd game and won 11-0, a shutout in that one, and Clovis leaving 9 players on base in that game. So that's one thing their coach was talking about. Definitely wanted to see some improvement on getting people around the bases. Richard Cruz, their head coach. They did get some good hitting going on in that first game of the win over Carlsbad. Josiah Mendoza finished with an RBI single. Nate McIntosh an RBI single. Quinn Culliver with a 2 RBI triple, so he definitely was helping out and then scored off a wild pitch as well. Jax Peepcorn had a single for a score, and Eli Rodriguez also got a walk on a loaded bases for an RBI. Freshman Javi Jimenez got a 2 RBI single to get the win for Clovis. So that's a pretty good victory against Carlsbad, who's a perennial playoff team and usually heading towards the state championship berth.
Yeah, and they will definitely be a challenge for Hobbs as always because they haven't won they've won all their games, 2 out of the 3. And, of course, they're facing Roswell as well since we're facing Clovis. So it'll be an interesting district. It always is.
Right now they're doing a memorial here for Carlos Camacho, the father of Juan Camacho, who passed away in January. So we're going to take a quick break here as they're talking about him right now over the loudspeaker. Hobbs Eagle Baseball comes back in 90 seconds. Welcome back live to Sportsman's Park. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to host Clovis Wildcats for the first game of the 3-game set. 2 games tomorrow will be a 4:30 start time in Clovis. We'll have the pregame show at 4:15. Hobbs Eagles, of course, getting the 2 wins out of 3 games last week against the Roswell Coyotes. But, Ron, only 2 guys getting at least 3 hits in that 3-game series. That was Juan Camacho. He went 3 for 8 with .375 batting average against the Coyotes pitching. 3 runs, couple of walks, a strikeout, RBI, 2 singles, and a double. And Jaden Hernandez was 3 for 8 as well. He had 3 singles for .375, 3 runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 RBI. Hitting was not at the premium against Roswell, but they got the 2 W's that they wanted for sure. Hobbs getting 17 hits in the 3-game series, 4 in the first game, 4 in the second, 9 in the third. And Roswell had 27, 10 more hits than the Eagles, 12 in the first, 3 in the second, and 12 in the third. So they were swinging their bats pretty well, but just not getting around the bases the way they wanted to for scores. Hobbs hitting .253 in those 3 games, and Roswell better at .321. Hobbs walking 9 times, 2 more than Roswell, 7. But Eagles striking out 4 more times than Roswell, 15-11. But once again, Hobbs got the victories. The 2 final games here at Sportsman's Park definitely helps them in the standings.
It definitely does. And just like unlike last year when they struggled a little bit in district, this time around they got back on the horse really quickly, were able to get those 2 victories at home and be able to get something going. And they need it because Carlsbad looks tough, although it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Roswell or in Carlsbad when they clash. But right now we're concerned about Clovis. Clovis does have a bit of a winning streak going on right now, but still, Hobbs has the ability, the momentum at home, and I think that's going to help them a lot.
In the Max Preps Bowl, Hobbs sitting at number 12 right now with a 9.7 strength of schedule. Clovis right behind them at number 13 at 9.0. So very close numbers there. Hobbs at 12-8 on the season. Clovis at 11-8. So pretty well-matched teams there. And again, they did pick off Carlsbad 1 time last week. The defense for the Hobbs Eagles right now out on the field. They got Alvarado at first, Montez second, Gonzalez at third, Fuentes at the short, Hernandez behind the plate catcher. Left to right in the outfield, Armendariz, Camacho, and Parrish. And Josiah Martinez, the man on the mound. By the way, both pitchers with the first name Josiah in this game, so bear with us on that. Josiah Martinez for your Eagles at 4-2 on the season. 7th game that he's been in, and an ERA of 1.77. So great way to start. Hobbs wearing the black uniforms, white pants, white hat, and a gray uniform top for Clovis, white pants, and the purple striping for the Wildcats on the road. As we get ready for our first pitch of the ball game, Martinez goes a little curve inside, clips the inside corner for the strike. And that is Eli Rodriguez at the first for Clovis, the righty. He's the left fielder.
Both these teams have improved on their defense since last year.
Fastball, it looks like it might have bounced off the chest protector there of Hernandez behind the plate. The ball sails behind to the backstop left side. Called a strike on that one. 0-2 count now for Rodriguez, who's down in the count numbers there as Martinez continues to pitch for the Eagles. Just 1 game here today. Winds are starting to pick up just a bit here at Sportsman's Park. We'll have 2 tomorrow in Clovis. They had to change the schedule due to umpire shortages. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside, jumping up from behind the crouch there, Hernandez, to pull it down with no runners on. So if that would have gone wild, Ron, I don't think it would have mattered very much.
It wouldn't have, but still, you got to get those wild pitches because, you never know when it's going to count and when it doesn't. Always got to get those memory muscles working.
1 ball and 2 strikes as Martinez comes with a sinker right down the middle of the pike and drops in as watching it was Rodriguez for the first K of the ball game. So out number 1 for Clovis. Javier Jimenez, the shortstop, second in the order. Josiah Mendoza, who's the starting pitcher, same first name as the Hobbs Eagle pitcher, and Nathan McIntosh, the cleanup man for Clovis.
And that is 35th strikeout for Josiah Martinez.
Jimenez called quick time there before he got those feet in the box. Martinez says yes a couple of times. The pitch call there from Hernandez. Fastball a little high and inside for ball 1. Of course, kind of a quick district type of schedule. You play 3-game series back-to-back days. This week it's Wednesday, Thursday. Of course, Carlsbad next week, back to a Thursday, Friday situation. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside for ball 2. So getting ahead of the count now is Jimenez. Again, they had to really rely on 1 inning against Carlsbad for that victory, popping 7 at the last inning of the ballgame, like the Eagles got in the 10 runs that they pulled in the 6th against Roswell last week in that big 12-11 victory. Curveball swing and a miss for Jimenez. His first strike, 2-1 count now to him.
Yeah, nothing but air on that one. Tried to get something on it, but just was a little late or early on the delivery.
Quick return now for Martinez. The fastball a little bit outside for ball 3. So I'm sure Jimenez is going to be only swinging the bat if it's a perfect pitch down the middle that he can put some stick on.
Exactly, protecting the plate.
Wind's picking up, as you can hear in the background. Curving inside off the handle is going to take a roll to third base. Gonzalez scoops and throws and gets the connect over to first to Alvarado off the 5-3 for out number 2 on the ground out.
And that was very nicely played. It was a textbook. Went right to third. Was a foul ball?
They called late foul call there on that one.
Wasn't certain if that was a foul or not. Looked like it was fair enough, but again, the umps are the final call.
Of course, coaches like to see you go ahead and follow through with the throw anyway, just to make sure you stay in the mode. So a full count now to Jimenez. Martinez with a slow windup this time. Fires a fastball. This one whacked out through second through third gap and got off to the right of Fuentes, the shortstop. So that will go down as a single instead of the ground out, as we mentioned minutes ago. So unfortunately, the hit's going to be counted for Clovis to get one on base. Now a lefty steps in, Josiah Mendoza, third in the order for the Wildcats.
And one of the things that Hobbs has struggles with occasionally is getting some runners out with one on and one out. Hobbs needs to tighten up that defense just a little bit. They have been doing that all season, so it should not be as much of a problem.
Tina's going to battle the wind a little bit on this next pitch. Fastball barely clips the outside corner, kind of dropped down at the last second there as Mendoza watched it and paid the price on that one to get the strike. Lead off at first from Jimenez, getting on due to a single. Martinez takes a peek at first to check the runner, and now he's going to throw over there. And diving back in time is Jimenez, face first to the first bag there as Alvarado pulls down the throw.
Yeah, Hobbs last week had a little bit of success. They were able to pick off one that was had a big lead off and wasn't paying attention as much as he wanted to and got picked off at first.
No balls and a strike now. Here comes Martinez. Floater comes down and clips the outside corner for the strike. 0-2 count now as Mendoza going to have to do some plate protection.
This Hobbs Eagle team has improved in defense as well. 60 runs less than they had this time last year.
The 0-2 pitch coming from Martinez, curve, and comes off the end of the bat, drops left of the plate, so a foul. Barely getting a piece of that was Mendoza to save himself on. Had an impressive win over number 1 in the 4A, Goddard, earlier this season by 2. Lost to him twice in other matchups, -2 on those 2 games, but did pick off that number 1 Rocket squad, so feather in the cap of the Clovis Wildcats.
Yeah, and kept it close on both times. 4-2 loss, 2-0 loss, and the 4-2 win like you just mentioned.
0-2 count now for Mendoza. Cleanup man McIntosh doing next. Tina's taking a lot more time between pitches now. Ooh, he hits him right in the outside right elbow there. So now bases with first and second runners. Hit by pitches Mendoza. And now that'll bring up McIntosh, the center fielder.
Hit him in the upper arm, so luckily there's a lot of protection there. Didn't hit right into the bone like sometimes it does.
So Clovis now with the runner at first and second. Force out at third for the Eagles defense with just one out here as McIntosh checks in.
He is a senior.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about their senior power that they've got on this Clovis team. They've got 11 seniors, 4 more than the Eagles do. 3 juniors, Hobbs only with 1 junior. Fastball outside for the ball. Hobbs has a total of 6 sophomores, and Clovis with just 1. So Hobbs a little bit of the younger crew going to be moving up in the next few years, and just 1 freshman that's on Clovis's squad. So 4 more seniors for Clovis in terms of the leadership they've got. The 1-0 pitch coming down the middle. Little late swing off the handle. Going to go foul right over close to the Clovis dugout. Out of play towards the JV field, which is under action as well. 1 ball and 1 strike now to McIntosh. 4th hitter for Clovis. Trying to move his runners around at first and second. Quick look back for Martinez a couple of times back at second with the leadoff man there. That's Jimenez. Curveball inside. Golf swing high up in the air. It's going to be sailing in foul territory near the coach's box on the first base side. And scooching over there to make the catch is Alvarado. Good job of looking around the infield to make sure what that runner was going to do at second. But the fly out to Alvarado for the second out.
And a sigh of relief as that is the second out of this first inning so far. So Hobbs, a little relief on that one. All they'd have to do is just get one more and then get out of this inning without any damage.
A lot of air underneath that foul ball, but with that wind blowing around, you kind of have to wait to see which direction that's going to zig and zag here. Curveball clips the outside corner for the strike on Kobe Rivera, the right fielder, 5th in the order for the Wildcats. And we're supposed to have wind the rest of the week, so I guarantee you tomorrow night we're going to have some wind to deal with there in the doubleheader in Clovis.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed the weather. It looks like it is going to be a windy one.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball out the end of the bat. Last-second decision for Rivera to swing the not a good one because he didn't get much muscle behind that. Just barely clinks off the end of the bat to left foul territory. Kind of dribbler over toward the Hobbs Eagle dugout. Coach Boyle, the one that retrieves that one. Now down to the count is Rivera with an 0-2 and 2 down. Force out again at third. Martinez continues to check the runner at second on Jimenez. Turns and fires. Curveball up near the outside shoulder right. Inside too much for the umpire's liking for the ball.
Yeah, but just enough where it did not hit the batter, luckily. One more strikeout, and this will be the second one for Josiah
and one
Martinez.
more hit batter. His bases loaded, too. Fastball down the middle. A low sink shot there. And over the top, Rivera could not get contact. That will be a strikeout. 2 Ks issued by Martinez. Clovis does get 1 hit. They leave 2 on base, no runs come across. We head to the bottom of the first, score 0-0. Your Eagles coming to bat. Stay with us live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Out of the first inning here at Sportsman's Park, Ty friend Ron Gunner with you as the Hobbs Eagles getting a chance to get up to the plate now to swing the bats. They are 0-0 tie at this point, getting their first opportunity. And just quickly looking down the batting order for the Eagles, at least the top 4. Josiah Martinez is starting pitcher. Both pitchers are going to be swinging in this game. Also, Gerardo Gonzalez at number 2 spot, Jason Fuentes, the shortstop, and Xavier Alvarado, the first baseman. Looking at the defense for the Clovis Wildcats, they have Tapia at first, Culliver second, Lopez third. Jimenez is the shortstop. And behind the home plate is Garcia. Josiah Mendoza, he is the pitcher starting today for Clovis. Rodriguez, McIntosh, and Rivera left through right in the outfield. And the righty or the lefty coming up for the Eagles, Josiah Martinez, the pitcher. First pitch coming in from Josiah Mendoza, kind of a curveball, swing and a miss for the Hobbs pitcher, Josiah Martinez.
Martinez hitting 204 right now. He has 11 hits, 16 runs, 9 RBIs.
Fastball, late swing for Martinez as the wind starts to blow our papers around here in the press box. Gets a piece of it, and it goes foul behind home plate. So an 0-2 count now for Josiah Martinez. And as a team, I mentioned we were pretty far behind Roswell at 252. How are we doing now on the batting average?
We are still at 252.
Boy,
so nothing much
lucky
changed.
On that one. Let's do those numbers out there, and boy, they almost take the helmet off of Martinez. Had to duck down from the curveball pitch there from Mendoza, and the count goes to 1-2 on the ball.
Yeah, Hobbs struggled for a little while against Roswell's squad. Hopefully, they won't have nearly as much problem getting those bats started up today.
Yeah, we mentioned they had 10 more hits for the Coyotes and the Eagles. Curveball inside, nice whack at it by Martinez, right over Coach Bowman, who tries to flat hand at that time, and I think he got a little zinger on that right hand as he tried to bare knuckle it, and he had to let it go past his hand, and I'm sure he's got a hole in the hand right now.
It was it was hit pretty hard. I mean, it was hit a little late, but still hit rather hard and down that line.
Yeah, it rolls down the right fence too near the Clovis dugout. Curveball down low for the ball. Good eye there for Martinez. 2-2 count now to the starting pitcher in this game for the Eagles at the plate. Gerardo or Gonzalez, Fuentes, and Alvarado do next. Check swing, high one on a fastball. Good job for Gonzalez or Martinez not to come completely around on that one, as he held just at the right time, way too high up by chin.
Yeah, if anything else, he would have been defending himself against that ball. It was too close for comfort.
Full count now. Here comes Mendoza. Going to go fastball, whack to the middle of the bat, out to second base on the ground, fielded by Culliver, and makes kind of a low throw over to first, connects with Tapia. Edwin O'Neill down to make the catch and the tag on the base for out number 1. So ground out for Martinez. And now it's Gerardo Gonzalez, the third baseman, stepping in for the Eagles, second in the order.
Yeah, he's hitting 205 right now. He's got 9 hits, 12 runs. He's also got 6 RBIs as well.
Crosses himself there as he gets into the box for the Eagles. Hobbs trying to get themselves their first runner in the ballgame. Again, 2 left on base for Clovis, which has been kind of their nemesis in that series with Carlsbad. The fastball down the middle, holding on it was Gonzalez, takes the strike call. 0-1 count now to Gonzalez. Mendoza takes a little bit of time. The windup in the throw. Fastball at the end of the bat. Going to sail towards second, but way too much air for that, and the baseman just waits for it. That's Culliver. So involved with 2 of the plays now. He got one on the ground and one in the air there. Routine. He just barely had to step up 1 step to make the catch.
And it looked like it was going to sail out to the outfield, but it didn't have any mustard.
I don't know what happened with that. I thought the air might pick that one up just a bit. But I think we need to keep balls away from Culliver out there at second. Jason Fuentes, the shortstop, third in the order, takes a fastball on outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Fuentes is hitting 200 right now. He's also got 11 hits, 14 runs, 13 RBIs, and a double.
Eagles hitting pretty much their batting average against Roswell in the 3 games at .253 last week. Curveball comes inside and jumping back as Fuentes to avoid the collision with the ball there. Yeah, Hobbs had 17 hits, so averaging about 5.5 a game versus the Coyotes. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, and 9 in that 12-11 victory. Fastball right down the middle to Fuentes, and holds on that one for the strike.
Of course, during the Santa Fe series, those 2 games up north, Hobbs did a whole lot of walking and not a lot of hitting.
Both teams last week, Hobbs and Roswell, both left 29 players on the bases in the 3-game series. Kind of a coincidence there.
It is. It just shows you what you can or what you need to do when you got your bats going, or when you don't have them going. You still need to make those runs. Roswell wasn't able to, but Hobbs was.
3 balls and 1 strike. The curve inside, a knuckler. That's going to go foul. Dribbling over to Coach Boyle in the third base coach's box. Giving him a little bit of action out there. Full count now to Fuentes. Alvarado, the cleanup man, due up next.
Of course, he leads the team, Alvarado does, with RBIs with 23.
Doza stares behind the plate. To Garcia, his catcher. Fastball, and boy, starting to jog up the first baseline was Fuentes, but the ump's calling him back with a 3rd strike call there, and that will also be out number 3. So no hits, nobody on the bases. Eagles cannot score in that, as it's 0-0 as we go to the top of the second. Listen to Hobbs Eagle Baseball back in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page.
Welcome back to Hobbs Eagle Baseball, where we've got Clovis going on with a 0-0 tie, top of the second, and here is the call with Ty Friend.
Clovis comes up their second time in this ball game. as they are down to 6th in the order. Bernie Lopez, the third baseman, waggles the bat behind that right ear. Here comes the pitch from Martinez. Curve it inside, and check swing there is going to go foul. Over the right backstop, out of play. Again, Eagles tomorrow on the road, doubleheader in Clovis, 4:15 pregame show, 4:30 start time on game 1 or game 2, and then we'll have game 3 right after that. Both are 7-inning matchups. Try to keep you updated on the Carlsbad Roswell series as well. Curveball inside, just waiting on it was Lopez, and the ball got knocked forward as Alvarado chased it down. I think he's just practicing his throwouts here as he had no runners on the bases, but chased it into the infield regardless.
Sure, always good to get, anytime you get that practice, you always want to take it.
Fastball down the middle, a little low for ball 2. 2-1 count now to Bernie Lopez. Culliver, Tapia, and Garcia ran out the order for Clovis. Here's the windup and the throw. Martinez goes, a high fastball, swing and a miss for Lopez. Little high one on that, and now the count evens up at 2-2. Trying to get a first run of the ball game here for Clovis in the top of the second. Curveball inside, good whack towards short, keeps it on the ground to Fuentes, turns and fires. A little bit behind the bag, but reaching out for it is Alvarado to make the snag. Off the 6-3 for out number 1.
Last season, that would have been kind of questionable. That shortstop always seemed to have trouble trying to corral those hit balls, those ground balls. But that was nicely done, scooped up, thrown to first, and out in time.
Well, think about field turf. You don't have the dirt sucking the ball down low, and you pretty much can make a better judgment on those. Sinker comes across and goes down too low for the ump's liking there to Quinn Culliver, the second baseman, 7th in the order for the Wildcats. He is one of the lefties for the purple and white squad. Here comes a 1-0 for Martinez. Fastball at the end of the bat. Going to sail over the Hobbs Eagle dugout left. Heads towards the ticket booth. Eagles will have their final series of the regular season next week as they will be on the road Thursday and then a doubleheader Friday here at Sportsman's Park, and then we'll hope for the playoffs on that. 1-1 pitch is going to curve outside, but clips the outside corner for strike 2, as Culliver now is going to have to be very protective of that plate.
Yeah, the juniors are going to have to see what he can do to get this bat to work for him.
Martinez is going to quickly get the next pitch going and throws it in the knee of his catcher Hernandez. Kind of slim left on that one. But of course, he has the pad there to ricochet the ball off to the backstop. Count goes to 2-2.
And more importantly, though, nobody got hurt. Hate to see the catcher get hurt off a wild pitch.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Martinez fastball misses outside for ball 3. We go to a full count.
Tried to sell that as a strike, but just didn't quite get in there in the strike zone.
So Clovis trying to get their first runner here in the second inning. Full count with 1 down. And Martinez comes with a fast off the handle, gets a little bit of a curve action, and does take a bounce out in center field. Coming up to make the stop on that one was Camacho, but that will be a single. Second hit for the Wildcats. Their first base runner here in the second inning. Gabe Tapia checks in now, the first baseman, 8th in the order. Force out at second for Hobbs if need.
Yeah, so far Hobbs is spreading them out, so that's what you have to do. If you're going to get some hits, get them between innings. Don't keep them all in one inning.
Culliver had a 2 RBI triple and then scored off a wild pitch in their win over Carlsbad last week. Did that hit him? I think it did.
It did.
Fastball comes right down the pike and gets Tapia. So hit by a pitch, second time that's happened here in this ball game. And now runners at first and second. Looks like Martinez taking off his hat there at the mound, waiting for his catcher to come talk to him, Hernandez, and try to get himself back on track here.
Yeah, he had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, but so far he's had a hit by a pitch, or he's hit a batter in each of the innings.
But this is where Clovis left off in the first inning. They left 2 on base, didn't get to third in that top of the first. But they only have 1 out in this situation. Jackson Garcia now, the catcher, last in the order for Clovis. Waggling that bat, and here's the pitch. Curve it inside, and clips the inside corner for the strike. Eagles had some great defense last week against Roswell. Gonzalez there at third. Big-time plays for Hobbs. And 2 of the 3 wins that they got Coming off the mound is Martinez, and thought about throwing it to second, but not even flinching to get over there. Montez, he says, nope, we had no intention to try to throw you out at second. Base runner stays where he's at. That's Culliver. Curveball inside, golf swing, being foul territory. As chasing it is Gonzalez at third base. Coach Cruz getting out of the way. He's in the third base coach's box, and didn't even want to try to reach out for that. With the wind's kind of taking curves on these balls once they're making contact off the bat.
It is bouncing a little differently with the wind, probably not helping it or helping it either way.
0-2 count now. Garcia trying to dig himself out of a big hole, facing the pitching of Martinez. Martinez keeps looking back at second to check the runner, turns and fires. Curveball inside, a nonchalant swing, and this is going to be swing and a miss there for Garcia. Thought I heard a little piece of metal that time, but that will be a strikeout nonetheless. That's the third K issued by Martinez against Clovis. Now they're facing 2 down with runners at first and second. Again, the force at third. Top of the order once again, Eli Rodriguez, second time through the order for Clovis. He struck out to start the ball game.
Wouldn't that be a caught foul ball?
Yeah, I don't think he actually caught it, but I'm not sure what the call on that one was. Here's the pitch coming, the curveball floating down across the plate for the strike. So Rodriguez just trying to wait on that one as he looks over to Coach Cruz at third. Well, after winning that second game of the doubleheader last week, Clovis got shut out 11-0 in game 3. A lot different situation there. Fastball, getting a piece of it is Rodriguez to the middle of the backstop. Second game, Carlsbad responded with 12 hits in that contest, and nobody for Clovis got more than 1 hit apiece in that one.
Yeah, funny enough, though, Hobbs got shut out in the first game. Clovis got shut out in the last game of the Carlsbad series.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Floater down the middle, and holding on it was Rodriguez. He's going to get his second K of the ball game as Martinez will sit him down. Clovis does get 1 hit, leave 2 on base, kind of like we saw in the first inning. Nobody comes across. We go to the bottom of the second. Eagles back on the offensive threat. 0-0 your score here at Sportsman's Park. Back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
We are back to action, and here with the call is Ty Friend.
Hobbs Eagles and the Clovis Wildcats. Game 1 of the tripleheader, 1 today, 2 tomorrow in Clovis. Lefty up for the Eagles, Xavier Alvarado, the cleanup man, first baseman for the Eagles, first time at the plate.
Hitting .288 this season.
Ooh, curveball almost takes his head off, coming from Josiah Mendoza.
Just a bit outside.
As Alvarado just kind of had to duck down on that pitch.
Not too much. It was pretty high. 15 hits, 16 runs, 23 RBIs.
Curveball inside, brushes it back just a bit for ball 2. Eagles have yet to have a runner in this game and looking for their first here in the bottom of the second. Still scoreless. The windup in the throw for Mendoza. Curve it inside. Knuckler off the handle there. Drops quickly and rolls off to the left of the home plate. Chased down by Garcia, the catcher for Clovis.
Alvarado's had 8 doubles and 1 home run. One of the 3 that the Hobbs Eagles have enjoyed.
2 balls and a strike now. Back in the box goes Alvarado. Curveball comes inside, and kind of a check on that one by Alvarado. Kind of flinched his wrist just a little bit there, and you could hear the Clovis fans thinking that was going to be another strike call, but he got lucky on that one, 3-1.
I think he expected it to go inside, but it didn't. It stayed out, and it was close to him.
Quick return for Mendoza in the exact same place, and Alvarado just chucks his bat towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout. He knew that was going to be a walk call, and he'll get the first walk of the game for the Eagles. Finally, a runner at first for Hobbs, and that will bring up for the Eagles number 11. Jaden Hernandez checks in, the catcher.
He's a sophomore, too, and doing pretty good so far as he's got .273 batting average.
We mentioned Eagles with 7 seniors on the team. Curveball inside, hits the base, and going for a stolen base now is Hernandez. Does he get there in time? They get the throw out there finally, coming in from behind home plate from Garcia, the catcher, but it's safe to the base is Alvarado.
You know, despite the fact that it was a late throw, it was still close to being a tag out, just by inches. It looked like just could not quite get it there in time, which is good for Hobbs.
Ready to pitch again as Mendoza looks back at second, turns and fires a fastball, comes off the top of the bat into the right backstop from Hernandez. So now a 1-1 count. Hernandez 5th in the order for the Eagles. Parrish, Montez, Armendariz, and Camacho round out the order for Hobbs, trying to get through their first round of battery. Here comes Mendoza, curving inside, low shot as Hernandez comes over the top of it for the strike. Count goes to 1-2.
Hernandez has had 12 hits, 10 runs, has had 5 RBIs, 1 double and 1 triple.
Yeah, gets a double here. He will get another RBI to his name as he has a runner at second. That's Alvarado.
And no outs to play with.
A lot of movement there at the shortstop. Curveball outside and high for the ball. Count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, they're expecting to see if Alvarado's going to take another base. He's already taken 1 so far.
2 balls and 2 strikes. A little bit more of a delay now for Mendoza, getting the pitch call that he wants. Turns and fires a curveball inside, swing and a miss, and that will be a strike out for, unfortunately, Hernandez. That's the second K, and if this wind doesn't stop, Ron, I mean, trying to put as much weight down on the paperwork as possible, but Mother Nature is going to play with me the rest of this ball game. So that's the second K of the game for the Eagles. Luke Parrish now, the right fielder. Now, he's not the guy that's always going to get up to the plate in games. He pitches a lot for Hobbs and plays some outfield, but when he does get up there, he does make some contact.
He does. He has a 400 hitting average, and that was Hernandez's 10th strikeout for the season.
So Parrish will take the first pitch. Good eye as it sails outside of the curveball for ball 1.
Yeah, Parrish, along with his home run, he's also had 2 doubles. Of course, he's had 6 RBIs, 6 hits, and 4 runs this season.
1 ball and no strikes with 1 down. Time called as Mendoza backs off the rubber at the mound. And Parrish returns himself to the box now with a quick breath before the next pitch.
Parrish has only struck out 5 times, but has only been walked twice.
Curveball barely clips the outside corner for the strike. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Showing a lot of maturity and a lot of patience for the sophomore.
Mentioned the pregame Hobbs and Clovis neck and neck in the 5A Max Preps poll. Hobbs at 12 and Clovis at 13. 12-8 for the Eagles, 11-8 for Clovis. Curveball inside, late swing for Parrish as the ball came down across the plate and the strike. Count to 1-2. Very close in strength of schedule, too. Hobbs at 9.7 and Clovis at 9.0. Roswell dropped to number 20 after their 2 losses to the Eagles last week, and Carlsbad sits at number 8 with a 10.9 strength of schedule, best of all the district.
And just 1 more win compared to the Hobbs Eagles.
Time called by the home plate umpire as Parrish steps out of the box. Not much sun to deal with in this ball game as we got some overcast skies here at Sportsman's Park. I would say winds about 10-15 miles per hour. Here's the 1-2 pitch for Mendoza. Curve it inside. Almost gets the bell to Parrish. Able to suck it in to get away from it. Count evens up at 2-2.
I think it was all right, but still, it's always good to make sure that you try to get away from the ball. Otherwise, we've seen that disaster last year happen, and it didn't count good for us.
Mendoza comes back with a fastball outside, and scooting over there to make sure it didn't go wild was Garcia, the catcher. Definitely knew that runner was trying to advance to third, which is Alvarado. Been sitting out there for a couple of minutes as Parrish has taken quite a few pitches here. Full count now. Montez due up next for the Eagles with just 1 down.
Yeah, Alvarado got to second because of a wild pitch. He took advantage of that, and he would do it again, too.
Mendoza with the fastball. Late swing comes out the end of the bat. Right backstop off the foul.
That would have been ball 4. However, he did take a hack at it, was able to connect, so he is still alive behind the plate.
Back out to the leadoff goes Alvarado at second. Mendoza takes a few peeks at him, turns and fires a curveball, late swing, and that's a strikeout. Almost looked like it was coming right towards Parrish that time, but he kind of flinched and then threw the bat out towards it inside and strikes out. 2 Ks in a row for Mendoza on the mound. That's 3 Ks overall in the ball game. 1 in the first inning and 2 now in the second. So now down to out 2. Hobbs still has that stranded runner, Alvarado at second. Christian Montez steps in now, the second baseman. He's 7th in the order for the Eagles.
Hitting at .315 this season, doing pretty well at 17 hits, 18 runs.
Nobody scored yet in this ball game here in the bottom of the second. Curving inside in the middle of the bat, going to take a roll towards short. Should have time to throw. Jimenez connects with a low throw to first to Tapia off the 6-3. And that will be out number 3 for the Eagles. No hits. They leave 1 on base due to a walk, Alvarado. No runs come across. We head to the top of the third. It's still 0-0 as your Hobbs Eagles host the Clovis Wildcats here at Sportsman's Park. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to baseball action with the Hobbs Eagles and the Clovis Wildcats. We're at the top of the third. It is 0-0. And with the call, here is your friend, my friend. It is Ty Friend.
Last year, the Carlsbad came in with the district champs at 8-1. Hobbs came in at 4-5. Clovis at 3-6, and Roswell at 3-6. So those two teams tied in the basement of the district. Roswell was 1-2 against Clovis, so Clovis got the better of them. Hobbs went down 2-1 to Roswell, but Roswell's problem was they went 0-3 against Carlsbad. So hopefully Carlsbad getting their first loss last week against Clovis, a close battle up with their Clovis Wildcats. First pitch, curveball, a strike call. Second in the order, Javier Jimenez for the Wildcats, facing the pitching of Josiah Martinez for the Eagles. Here comes the windup and the throw. Fastball off the middle of the bat, but it's about a half-speed swing of the bat that time as it sails off towards the JV field on the right, foul territory.
Hobbs has allowed 122 runs so far this season. In fact, they've only given up 24 against Roswell. Right now they're at 0 against this Clovis Wildcat team.
Menez did have a single back in the first inning, the first hit of the game for Roswell out of their number 2 that they got. Fastball, that'll go out and take a bounce on the side fence on the right side near the Clovis bench. So 0-2 count now. Jimenez trying to stay alive at the plate. Mendoza, the starting pitcher, will be at the plate next. He was hit by a pitch, one of 2 hit batters in this ball game. Here comes the 0-2 from Martinez. Same spot, and this is going to go out to the right as well in the foul territory.
If you look at runs allowed in district play, you can see both Hobbs and Clovis both have 24 against them, so that's something they have in common as well.
Tina's slowing down a little bit on his delivery here. Slow turn and fires the fastball. Reach out on that swing, and it's going to tap it down the third baseline out, or first baseline out to right field. Kind of a place ball that time, probably about chest high, and just tapped it out there. And that will be Jimenez with a second hit in a row. 3 hits overall for Clovis, and now a base runner at first. The question is, Coach Cruz has mentioned this after the series with Carlsbad, is can he get these base runners to advance and get through to home plate to put some points on the board here?
Well, so far this is the third time that Clovis has had a hit early on in the inning, and they haven't had an out yet, and they just haven't managed to be able to cross that home plate yet.
Curveball outside, very low pitch, swing and a miss for Mendoza, and that time that was Gonzalez, the third baseman, kind of jogging up the third baseline. I don't know if he thought he saw a bunt possibility there, but his coaching staff, of course, Coach Boyle and Bowman, etc., are keeping track of who's at the plate. The lefty, that is Mendoza, who was hit by a pitch back in the first. So two Josiahs going against each other right now. Here's the 0-1, a throw to first. Way back in time is Jimenez. No problem whatsoever to slide into first. That's one good thing about field turf. When you slide back face first, you're not going to come up with a mouthful of dirt.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about brushing yourself off either.
Or your teeth.
Exactly. That I've had that. It's not pleasant at all. It just seems like it never gets out.
And plenty of wind to blow some stuff around if there was any dirt, except for the mound here. Here's the 0-1. Curveball outside for ball one. 1-1 count now to Mendoza. Two singles for Jimenez for the Wildcats and one for Clovis. There are 3 hits. Hobbs yet to get a hit in this ball game, but have been on base once due to a walk.
Yeah, this is starting to look like the first team that makes a mistake is going to be the one that's going to suffer for it.
That's kind of the feel for the whole district this year at this point. Martinez watching first, turns and fires, curve, and that's going to go outside for ball 2. Kind of I was waiting to see what Mendoza was going to do with that. It almost looked like he was starting to come around for a bunt, but then kind of held the bat in a weird position that time, flat across his chest there, and pulled out of it.
It looked like it was a bunt, but yeah, definitely third base reacted that way.
2 balls and a strike. Martinez turns and fires a curveball inside as brushing back Mendoza, steps away from it, and gets the third ball call now. 3-1 count. Well ahead of it now is Mendoza. Again, Clovis has had 3 consecutive first and second bases covered with runners, but Hobbs has shut him down previously in the first 2 innings.
Unfortunately, though, they've also had 2 hit batters. Hopefully there won't be a third.
Curveball comes inside again, same exact spot, and that will be a walk. And that is the first walk issued for the Eagles in this one. And that'll bring up first and second with bases covered. And Nathan McIntosh, the cleanup man, he flew out to first back in the first inning.
So that means that Mendoza has gotten on twice, one by a hit by a pitch, and then that one was a walk.
McIntosh got an RBI single against Clovis in their 7-6 victory last week. One of the 3 games that they played. Lost the other 2 to Carlsbad. Fastball comes down low for ball 1. 3-0 hit count so far in favor of the Wildcats. Time called as McIntosh looks over to Coach Cruz at third base to get some last-second advice. Quick reload. Martinez showing bunt now up the first base line, right to the pitcher. Martinez turns and fires and makes the connect over to Alvarado off the 1-3. And a good job of charging up front of the mound that time. Little dribbler off the bunt there by McIntosh. Not paying off on that one. That's what Coach was telling him to do at the last second. And that will be out number 1. But the runner does advance, we should say, to second.
Exactly. He did look over to third, but it would not have been in time. So at least he got 1 out. Otherwise, bases would have been loaded. And with no outs, that would have been a bit of a headache there.
Runner at second now for Clovis. That's Mendoza, who got on due to a single. Actually, he's second and third, as Mendoza is at second, Jimenez at third. Curveball floats inside for the strike. Count to 0-1 to Kobe Rivera. He had the third and final out, a strikeout back in the first inning.
That's a nice delivery of a curveball, looks like.
Martinez with the windup and the throw. Fastball clips the inside corner for strike 2, and on the hold that time was Rivera.
Yeah, Martinez would love to get a strikeout right now. Of course, he would always love to get a strikeout.
Of course, right side of the field better be ready. This is a lefty Rivera now. Martinez peeked back at second, turns and fires. Fastball down the middle, floater off the end of the bat for Rivera, but goes to the middle of the backstop for the foul. Staying alive at 0-2 is Rivera. Lopez, Culliver, Tapia, and Garcia to round out the order 6 through 9 for Clovis with 1 down. Still scoreless here in the top of the third. Martinez going to come with a fastball at the end of the bat, heading towards left field with some air underneath it. Armendariz is going to go to the third base line, makes the catch, the tag up from third. Runner does come home, the first score of the ball game. And that is Jimenez making the score off a sac fly by Kobe Rivera.
He did what he had to do. At least he got it in play. He was out, but did manage to get the RBI.
So 1-0, Clovis getting the first score of the ball game here in the top of the third. 2 outs now for the Eagle defense, and a runner at second for the Wildcats. Bringing up Bernie Lopez. He is 5th in the order for the Wildcats. Ground out to short to Fuentes back in the second. Curveball drops down inside. They're going to say a little too low for the ball. Again, 3 hits for the Wildcats. Jimenez doing the yeoman's work with 2 for 2 so far for Clovis. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Curve it inside. Golf swing out to Coach Cruz. Bare hands it with his left hand and then throws it behind the back to Gonzalez at third base to get it back into field of play. Little globetrotter action going on over there. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bernie Lopez.
Yeah, it's the game within the game.
Fastball down the middle for the strike as Lopez had a stop sign on that one. Count to 1-2.
It looked like it just caught the corner on that one, and one more time when we can get out of this inning as well.
Martinez with the glove up by his face now as he looks back and forth to second base and home. Fires the fastball. Ooh, a little outside for ball 2, and some Eagle fans oohing about that one. Thought maybe they could ring him up on that one, but not going to call a strike by the umpire behind the plate.
It looked like the umpire was about to make that motion, but did not. Just stayed his ground.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Little shift to the right now by Hernandez behind the plate. Takes the fastball. It just barely misses, so that's why he shifted on that one. And now a full count to Bernie Lopez.
So Lopez hasn't swung at anything, but luckily he's gotten a couple of ball calls in the last 2 pitches.
Another reason Hernandez has been sliding right is he's got a runner at second right now, so he's going to be looking to that third base. Fastball drops in the last second, a little low for ball 4, and that will be a walk for Lopez. Second of the game for Clovis. They got runners now at first and second, and we're back to deja vu again, although they have scored a run prior to this.
Exactly, and right now, though, 2 outs, 2 on, and 1 in scoring position for Clovis. They're trying to get more runs in this inning to further the lead, but Hobbs wanting to shut it down.
Quinn Culliver, another lefty. He got a single back in the second for the Wildcats. Trying to advance the runners. 1-0 lead for Clovis. Fastball comes outside, dropped behind the plate left, and then kind of tapped out a little bit by Hernandez to see if the runners can get too far off their bases, and they don't.
Well, he did, but he was able to track it back in time. Hobbs thought about throwing to second, but just wasn't able to, and runner is safe.
We did get a 2 RBI triple against Carlsbad last week, and then scored off a wild pitch to give them a 6-5 lead after trailing in that ball game and winning it 7-6. Fastball outside, ball 1. 1-1 count now to Culliver. Tapia and Garcia to follow if they get a chance with the 2 outs. Big leads off at both first and second. Fastball goes outside. Nice slide left for Hernandez to keep it from going wild. And always facing that left because you got that runner at second, and always keeping in the back of his mind that he might have to make a throw to Gonzalez there at third to stop the advancement.
A strikeout or a pop fly will end this inning.
2-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 2 by Culliver.
Hey, Culliver, man.
Yeah, he's trying to work on the 4th hit of the game for the Wildcats. Martinez slowing it down just a bit at the mound. Keeps it inside. Tap swing out to left center and making a nice run to make the play. Running right to left into left center field comes Camacho, catching it on the run across his body that time. And that is out number 3. And dodging a bullet, the Eagles there. 1 run did come across prior to that. But Clovis getting 1 hit. They leave 2 on base. 1 run does score. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Eagles trying to get back in this one, down 1-0. Back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
We are back where Clovis has scored 1 in the top of the 3rd, and Hobbs is unable to get a hit, but they were having getting on base And here is the call as we get to the bottom of the third. It is Ty Friend.
Eagles have had only one base runner so far. That was Xavier Alvarado back in the second. And they haven't got through their order yet. They got two more to come up. Saul Armendariz at 8 and Juan Camacho at number 9, the two outfielders left and center. As Armendariz will step up first. A little bit of a windy condition. Starting to see a little bit more sun peeking out behind the overcast skies here at Sportsman's Park. Tomorrow we'll be on the road to Clovis for a doubleheader. Pre-game show at, what time is it, 4:15 tomorrow, 4:30 start time on that first game of the doubleheader, and then we'll have the second one right after that here on all your No Mark internet stations. Yeah, first pitch coming in for Mendoza, swing and a miss for Armendariz. Kind of a lackluster swing that time, and just kind of getting a feel for the bat there.
Armendariz hitting 240s this season, has 12 hits, 15 runs, and 7 RBIs.
Quick reload on the fastball for Mendoza, outside for ball 1, evens up the count at 1-1. Juan Camacho to finish up the order for the Eagles. 1-0 here on the bottom of the third in favor of Clovis. Here's the windup of the throw, another fastball outside for ball 2.
Saul has also had 3 doubles this season. He'd like to get the 4th, if not a triple.
Clovis did not make the playoffs last year. In fact, I think they have a better record, 12-18. Hobbs got in with a 10-18, I believe. And, of course, they played the number 1 team, Rio Rancho.
Yep, 16th is what Hobbs was ranked. Last season they were 9-11 at this rate. And I know they didn't get any much more wins, at least against Hobbs they didn't. They got 1 out of them last year.
2-1 pitch down the middle. This will be a chop shot. It hits the right side of the second base and rolls into center field. Boy, I wish that would have not have hit the base, because that might have had some more velocity, possibly making that into a double, but we'll take the hit regardless. Armendariz with a single, first hit of the ball game for the Eagles, and a base runner finally besides the walk we got earlier from Alvarado. Juan Camacho finished up the order for the first time for the Eagles. The center fielder steps in at number 9.
Yeah, playing an honor for his dad, Carlos Camacho. Of course, once the bats start getting alive with Hobbs, maybe this inning will be, of course, a good answer against that 1 run at the top of the third.
Yeah, they had a memorial ceremony at the beginning of this ball game. The family was out on the field, and a uniform was presented to them with all the players' signatures as Carlos Camacho passed away in January.
And the sophomore has been hitting .259, Juan has, with 14 hits, 18 runs, and 12 RBIs, along with 2 doubles and 2 triples.
No outs for the Eagles. Runner at first is Armendariz after this single. Mendoza takes a peek at first, turns and fires the fastball outside for ball 2. Good eye for Camacho.
And maybe a little distracted by the first base runner, but still, yeah, that's 2-0 right now.
Both these squads have played at some ranked teams. We'll get to that here in just a minute as my papers blow away from me again. Curveball inside, hard swing for Camacho, but unfortunately doesn't make contact for the first strike. Both teams played Los Lunas earlier this season. They ranked 14th, and Clovis winning 12-8. Eagles losing 12-1, but then came back and beat Los Lunas 9-5, so they've split with them.
Improved, too.
As this time Mendoza looks at first and then throws it over to first. Not enough time to get the tag out there as Armendariz slides back in. Volcano Vista, Clovis losing 8-2. Vista was ranked 5th at the time. Eagles only lost by 1 to that 5th-ranked squad, so a little bit better showing there.
Yeah, that Los Lunas game 12-1 was over in Cleveland at the Cleveland tournament early in the season. In fact, that was their first tournament of the season.
Berlin ranked 5 in 4A. Twice played by Clovis. Won 11-0, but lost 8-3. Hobbs picked off or lost to Berlin by 9. A steal on the way at second. The throw down to second, not in time. So nice conversion there by Armendariz, advancing himself to second. Knocking at the door for the Eagles, who trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. We're slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park, and then a doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah, and Camacho still alive. 2-2 is the count, as the runner is now in scoring position at second base.
Mendoza fires the fastball. That's going to go to short. Backhand played by Jimenez. Fires across the field, and it looks like it's going to sail away from first, and that will be just behind the bag that time, so runners will advance as well. That means Armendariz now at third. We're going to see if they're going to call that an error or not, a throwing error. That looks like they might just keep it a hit.
It should be a hit, but either way, yeah, Camacho got there in plenty of time before the throw got there. So
yep, second hit registered, so that will be a single for Camacho. They have 2 hits compared to 3 for Clovis, and no outs is the best part. Knocking at the door is Armendariz to try to tie this ball game up. Josiah Martinez, top of the order. He ground to second to start the ball game. Josiah versus Josiah now. Same name on the mound. Fastball down the middle, a steal on the way. Kind of a slow run. He hits the runner, getting to second, Camacho. And now with the throw going behind second base from behind the plate, Garcia, that will get enough time for the scoring run for Armendariz to tie it up at 1 apiece. Kind of a mistake there for Clovis, and not a full sprint there by Armendariz or make that Camacho to get to second. The ball actually hit him in the foot as he came to the second bag.
Exactly. It was a little bit of a whoopsie as he was approaching the second base, but still, nevertheless, was able to get there safely, and Martinez didn't have to do much at behind the plate.
0-1 count. Mendoza go with a changeup, and showing bunt that time off the end of the bat was Martinez. The ball goes in foul territory behind left of the plate.
Yeah, 2 doubles and a triple for Martinez, and it looks like he may have gotten an RBI without doing anything at all.
Yeah, we are tied 1-1 here in the bottom of the third.
So Hobbs is able to answer that run in the top of the third.
Slowing it way down now is Mendoza. Curveball inside, and they throw the ball down hard to third. Thought the runner was going to come on that one, Camacho, but looked like Garcia got fooled on the catcher behind the plate there as he zinged it down to that third base. And runner not even halfway through, Camacho, between second and third.
I thought he actually faked it myself. I didn't think he threw the ball to third, but yeah, apparently he did.
1-2 count now to Martinez. Curveball up near helmet high. Good hold there by Josiah not to swing, and that'll be an even count at 2-2 after the ball.
Yeah, baiting the runner once again. But, yeah, that definitely was not going to be a strike no matter where you called it from.
Gonzalez and Fuentes, second and third in the order, due up next. No outs for the Eagles, trying to take a lead here, tied at 1.
And doing well already with 2 hits.
Curveball on the outside of the bat, going to go towards left center, going to go towards the wall and hit the warning track and take a roll for Martinez. That will be at least an RBI double. Looks like he'll hold it second. So Martinez is going to score Camacho to take the lead 2-1 for the Eagles off the RBI double.
It didn't have enough air in it to get that home run, but however, like you said, a double and an RBI. So on the board as well as in scoring position at second base. And Hobbs looking strong, still no outs.
2-1 score. Hobbs doubling up on the Wildcats. Now that'll bring in Gerardo Gonzalez. He's flew out to second back in the first inning, his second time at bat here. Does have a runner at second. Martinez after the RBI double. 3 hits in a row for the Eagles. Armendariz, Camacho, and Martinez. Curveball inside, going to hit towards the JV on the foul tap there by Gonzalez.
And we mentioned that the Hobbs Eagles have been flying high against this Wildcat team. 9 out of 10 wins against this squad, and looks like they're trying to go for number 11, of course.
They did lose 1 last year.
Right.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, curving inside, a knuckler off the handle, going to go right to the pitcher off the bounce to Mendoza, turns and fires to first, coming off a 1-3 to Tapia for out number 1.
But it does advance the runner to third, and now he is definitely within scoring position, and that's what Hobbs wanted to do, would just advance just like Clovis did earlier in this inning.
Armendariz and Camacho already scoring for the Eagles to take the 2-1 lead, and now it's going to be third in the order, Jason Fuentes. He was the third out of the first inning with the strikeout. Eagles have been struck out 3 times so far by Mendoza, but he's starting to show some holes in his game as the Eagles starting to get some contact. First pitch, a curveball, late swing for Fuentes for the strike. The ball sunk as it came in front of the plate that time. 3-3 hit count now, both teams picking up 3. Double and 2 singles for the Eagles, and 3 singles for Clovis. Here's the 0-1 pitch, curve it inside. Ricochet off the catcher is going to roll towards the left backstop. Garcia has to chase it down. That would be enough to get a scored run for Martinez. And now all 3 base runners that come home for the Eagles to take a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the third.
I mean, it's not the way you usually want to score, but however, you do want to score. So even if it's off a wild pitch, you still want to get that in. It is messy on the books, but still, it's a nice score. 3-1 is the lead so far with 1 out.
1 ball and 1 strike. Mendoza go with the curveball. Clips the inside corner for the strike. Count to 1-2. Alvarado due up next, the cleanup man. He walked back in the second and stole the base. Mendoza going to hold just a second. Takes the pitch call he wants. Fastball a little high for ball 2.
Boy, that thing went, it just escaped his hand quickly. just could not sink and find that zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Jason Fuentes, third in the order for the Eagles. Knows to go with the fastball, sinks right in front. Ball's dropped, third strike, and the throw down to first from Garcia to Tapia, good for the out. So Fuentes will have to take a seat. And that's going to bring up Xavier Alvarado, who walked back in the second, also a stolen base, did get to second. And the Eagles have nobody on the bases right now, but Alvarado would like to be the man to get on there to try to advance his 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the third.
Exactly, 288 hitting percentage for Alvarado. Of course, he would love to get another hit in his record.
One of the lefties for Hobbs. Ooh, the curveball goes behind his back. I thought it might have hurt some flesh on that one, but
nope.
I guess it missed him just barely.
Very, very close. And if you did, you got very good hearing. Clovis, on the other hand, though, has had some really good luck so far this game in getting the strikeouts.
Fastball, swing and a miss for Alvarado. Came up over the top of it that time.
Trust me, I was not endorsing that. I just was mentioning it.
1 ball and 1 strike to Alvarado with 2 down for the Eagles. They lead 3-1 here in the third. Fastball outside for strike 2 and kind of mixing it up just a bit now is Alvarado, or actually Mendoza playing both sides of the plate here. The pitcher for Clovis. Quickly back in the box goes Alvarado, waggling the bat behind that left ear. Fastball off the end of the bat, and this is going to go foul left over the Hobbs Eagle dugout and heading towards the parking lot.
Yep, still at play and still alive at the plate. 0-2.
Eagles have 2 more home games for the regular season next week against Carlsbad next Friday. Fastball down the middle and holding on, and Alvarado is going to pay the price on that one. He strikes out. That's the 5th K of the game off the pitching of Josiah Mendoza. But the Eagles do manage 3 hits. Nobody on the base to end it up there, but they do get 3 runs scored to take a 3-1 lead. We go to the top of the 4th, get close to halfway here at Sportsman's Park. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Baseball live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Coal 95.7 Facebook page.
All right, we are back here at the top of the 4th. Hobbs was able to sneak in 3 at the bottom of the 3rd. That makes it 3-1. And with the call, here he is, Ty Friend.
Last year, the Hobbs Eagles went 2-1 against Clovis, winning 16-3. Hobbs getting 10 runs in the 7th inning. Sounds familiar from last week's Roswell victory. A big 7-run win in that one. Makai Brewer got 4 hits and a home run in that game. Xavier Alvarado with 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a triple, so he was really cranking. Martinez and Gonzalez both getting 2 hits each. They lost 11-4 in another game that they played against Clovis. Makai Brewer with 3 of the 6 team hits in that one. Alvarado had a couple of hits as well and 3 runs scored. And then they won the 3rd game of that series 8-1. Alvarado got a home run and a double in that game. Armendariz a couple of hits as well, including a double. So lots of good bat work against Clovis in that 2-1 series victory last year, but we're in a new season now and a 2-0 count as Clovis is up at the plate against the pitching of Josiah Martinez. Gabe Tapia, 8th in the order, hit by a pitch back in the 2nd, facing a 2-0. Here's the windup in the throw for Martinez, curving inside, swing and a miss is Tapia well over the top of that one. He is 8th in the order. Garcia to finish it up for Clovis next.
And you're right about the fact that Hobbs allowed only 4 runs in the 2 games that they won, of course, and 11 were scored against them in that loss.
The 2-1 pitch, curve it inside again, same spot, and Tapia come over the top again for strike number 2. So far, it's Clovis with 3 hits. They've had 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and had 2 left on base.
But they've been each and every inning. So the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, they've had 1 hit in each inning.
Curveball inside, this one near ankle level, so no swing by Tapia. Just try to get his foot out of the way that time. The full count now for Gabe Tapia.
He would have had to had a golf club to hit that one.
Take a little bit more time is Martinez. Here comes the pitch. Fastball. Barely misses the outside, and that'll be a walk for Tapia. Third walk of the ball game for the Wildcats. And now it's going to be Jackson Garcia last in the order for the purple and white, or today purple and gray with the white pants. He struck out back in the second, one of 4 strikeout victims for the Wildcats. He's looking over to Coach Cruz now at third base.
And the senior catcher is going to see if he can catch something and make it the most, at least for an RBI anyways. He's got a runner on first.
Force out at second for the Eagles, no outs. Curveball inside, late swing by Garcia. Kind of stumbles over the plate as he lunged across there. Both these teams played Artesia earlier this year. Clovis won by 7, 8-1. Eagles won by 1 and won by 3 in 2 games of the doubleheader. Curveball inside, out to right field. A shallow shot. Nice slide on the knee to make the catch there for the Eagles. And great job getting underneath. That was Parrish. And he just definitely got some field turf stains on that one, I believe the right knee that time, as he just came right up underneath the baseball. And you didn't really know where it was going to come, whether a little bit higher or not, because the wind, of course, is kind of moving the ball around a little bit out in the outfield.
Yeah, but I know he would take that any and every day and get that out. He was going to try to see him and get it back to first, but didn't have time to do it as the runner got back.
Top of the order for the third time for Clovis in this game. 0 for 2 is Rodriguez with 2 strikeouts. He's a leadoff man, takes a curveball inside for the strike as he looks over to Coach Cruz. And runner at first is Tapia still, who walked to start this top of the fourth. Hobbs up 3-1 after 3 runs in the third inning.
Yeah, Josiah would love to ring up another K.
Curveball inside, swing and a miss again for Rodriguez. Now an 0-2 count against the leadoff man. Jimenez up next. He's perfect for the squad at 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a run scored.
And if this trend continues, Hobbs can get out of this without having another hit.
Martinez goes to the fastball. This is going to be a bouncer to second as it's flicked by Montez. Covering was Fuentes, and he bobbles it for just a second in front of the second bag. Enough time for the runner to get there, so a little bit of a mishandle there at second base. Lets the runner advance, and now runners at first and second for Clovis.
It didn't look like the throw was going to be able to make it any time, even if he was stable on his feet. It looked like the runner was almost there when he got to second base. So, hey, still go, though, a nice out.
So 1 down, runners at first and second. Still 3-1 score. Curveball outside to Jimenez. He is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles, a run scored. So the first out was counted there as a little flick from Montez to Fuentes.
That's what it was.
Fastball down the middle, strike call there for Jimenez that just held on that one.
I was calling that second an out, and yet he's still safe. So
1 ball and 1 strike. Curveball down the middle. It's going to go across the second bag. Nice slide from behind by Fuentes, the shortstop. Saved it from going into the outfield. Eagles put some aggressiveness there. I think he did get it to the bag there to get the tag out, and that will sit down Jimenez. That's his first non-hit of the ball game.
It wasn't out on that one. First and third, though, with 2 outs, Clovis up for another try to get another run scored.
So 2 ground outs there for Clovis. Boy, nice athletic play by Fuentes, a run behind that second bag and then get it back to second to stop the runner. So now just 1 runner on for Clovis as their offensive scoring chances are starting to dwindle. They do have a runner at third as well. And a 3-1 Eagle lead.
But Mendoza at bat for Clovis.
Fastball, late flinch by Mendoza, and he's going to get the strike call. He's the starting pitcher, was hit by a pitch in the first and walked in the second. 2 down, though. Force out at second for Hobbs, and the throw down to first, not in time, as Mendoza, who is that? Tapia gets back.
Right. After that nice little single. So they've had singles in every inning so far, Clovis has.
0-1 count. Here comes the windup and the throw for Martinez. Fastball high for ball 1. Still runners at first and third for Clovis. The tying run at first. Yeah, the go-ahead at home, that's Mendoza. Again, the two Josiahs battling out each other here right now. Pitch comes, curve outside, late swing for Mendoza for the strike, count to 1-2.
Of course, with us playing a day early, we won't know anything about the Clovis, Carlsbad, Roswell games until tomorrow at the earliest.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Time called. And coming off the mound is now Martinez, has got runners advancing, and actually won from first to second, but decides not to throw it anywhere.
Yeah,
a little bit of a mistake on that play, as now it's Rodriguez at second, and a runner at third as well, which is Tapia.
Well, last time Roswell did that, and they were able to score because they were concentrating on the second base.
Little curve float comes over high of the strikes on a hard throw back coming from Hernandez behind the plate, and almost overthrows his pitcher Martinez at the mound. That thing would have clunked over second base. That would have got a scored run there on a bad throwback. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball outside, swing and a miss, and that will strike out Mendoza, and no scoring opportunity recorded for Clovis. Knocking at the door, though, with runners at second and third, so they're going to leave a couple on the bases. No hits, 1 walk, no runs come across. We head to the bottom of the fourth. The Eagle bats coming to the plate, leading 3-1 over Clovis. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
All right, we are back as we are now at the bottom of the fourth. Clovis wasn't able to get to score, so the score is still 3-1. And of course, with the call, here is Ty Friend.
Of course, Josiah Martinez, the starting pitcher in this game, has struck out 5 batters for Clovis so far, and has given up only 3 hits, 2 of those to Jimenez, but only 1 other one to Culliver. Clovis has left 6 on base so far, which has been a problem for them this season. Fastball outside as the Eagles step up to the plate, and there is Hernandez, Jaden Hernandez, the catcher. He struck out back in the second inning. Trying to be the first base runner here in the bottom of the fourth. Curveball inside, below the knee for ball 1, or make it 2-0 count. Of course, Hernandez is 5th in the order for the Eagles. Slowing it down now just a bit is Mendoza on the mound. Curveball inside, off the handle, going to go foul outside the third baseline, barehanded by Coach Boyle, and he flicks it hard over to that third baseman over there, Lopez. Lopez kind of grinning at him there, is playing a little hot pepper action there for Coach Boyle.
Hernandez has been walked 10 times this season.
Curveball inside, going to get a hard shot high in the air towards left field. On the back pedal is Rodriguez, and makes the catch before the warning track on the left. Ball kind of floated up high in the air that time. That'll be a fly out for Hernandez for out number 1 in left field. Bringing up Luke Parrish. Parrish is 6th in the order, the right fielder for the Eagles. He had a strikeout back in the second. Trying to get some base running for Hobbs. Still a close ball game at 3-1 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, Parrish just his 6th strikeout of the season.
Fastball late, hit off the end of the back and a roll out to the left of the mound. Picked up by Mendoza. Spins around 180 and throws it over to his first baseman off a 1-3 to Tapia. And that'll be a quick out number 2. And that's not the trend you want to start seeing, Ron. You got to get some base runners here to get some insurance runs on that scoreboard. All the runs scored for both teams in the third inning. 3 for Hobbs, 1 for the Clovis Wildcats.
And it looked like Parrish's body language knew he didn't hit it right. Had to run it out and just did not have the speed to get to first base in time before he was thrown out.
Christian Montez facing 2 outs now. He ground to short for the final out of the second inning. Takes a curveball inside for the ball. Good eye for Montez. He's 7th in the order. Armendariz and Camacho hoping for an opportunity here in this bottom of the fourth.
Yep, 315 is what Montez has been hitting so far this season.
Mendoza's fastball down the middle, a hold by Montez.
Yep.
Mendoza's pitch down the middle to Montez for the ball. Count to 1-1. Here's the windup in the throw. Fastball. Clicks the outside corner. Looked like a little low dropper there, but they go ahead and click it up as a strike and a 1-2 count now to Montez. Got to protect the plate on this one with 2 down.
Yeah, snuck it inside the strike zone that time.
Mendoza going to come back with a curveball well outside for ball 2. Good eye for Montez. Both Armendariz and Camacho due up next. In fact, the next 3 batters all have hits apiece. Martinez, Armendariz, and Camacho. Definitely like to get them a chance to swing the bat here.
Yep, 2-2-2 right now.
Curveball inside, late swing off the handle, goes behind home plate towards the left. Out of play.
Stayed alive, protected the plate.
2-2 count now to Montez. Armendariz with a single, Camacho with a single, and Martinez got a RBI double earlier. They're next up. Here's the 2-2, curve inside, bounces left of the plate, into the field turf. And now a full count to Christian Montez. Now he doesn't want to swing on any junk on this next pitch, which you can probably expect from Mendoza.
Yeah, at the very least he can get a walk, but Saul Armendariz is up next, and he definitely wants to get a chance at the bat.
Mendoza taking a little bit more time to get the pitch call he wants. Throws a curve and low inside. A little bit of a ricochet. Did hit piece of the bat and the catcher. Garcia gets through his legs. And that will keep the pitch count going against Montez.
Definitely will.
Tomorrow we'll be on the road again, Clovis. 4:15 pregame, 4:30 start time on Game 2 of the series, and then Game 3 after that. Here's the full count pitch. Fastball. Clips the outside corner, and unfortunately Montez was a deer in the headlights on that one to take the strike 3. That will be the 6th K of the game issued by Mendoza, and out number 3. Eagles get no hits. Nobody on the bases. Nobody comes across for a score. We head to the top of the 5th. Still 3-1. Your Eagles over Clovis. Back in 60 seconds. Live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Colt 95.7 Facebook page.
Welcome back to Sportsman Park, where we got a live one going on. Top of the 5th, Hobbs is holding on to a 2-run lead, 3-1. And with the call, here is Ty Friend.
Both teams with 3 hits so far in this game. Javier Jimenez for Clovis, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a run scored. Quinn Culliver, the 3rd hit with a single. They've also had, that's 3 hits total. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 6 left on base. 1 error defensively for Clovis. For your Hobbs Eagles, they've got 3 hits as well. An RBI double for Josiah Martinez, who did get a run scored after that. Saul Armendariz got a single and a run scored, and so did Juan Camacho. Eagles with 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and 1 left on base. They've had 1 error defensively as well. Still 3-1 game, make it the top of the 5th. More than halfway through this one game tonight at Sportsman's Park. Martinez going the distance so far. Fastball comes down low for ball 1. As he faces Nathan McIntosh, the cleanup man for Clovis. 0 for 2 so far. Flew to first and ground out to first as well. So I'm sure he wants to keep it away from Alvarado there. Fastball hits the bottom of the strike zone. Called strike. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Now, Clovis has been able to get those hits, but they've been spread out 1 in each inning. So they've been doing well with that, but just like Roswell, they weren't able to do anything with them.
1-1 pitch, fastball, knuckler off the handle, going to roll to the Eagles side of the field left, near the left backstop. It's Coach Boyle going to take a jog out there to help retrieve that ball.
Sure, keeping himself young that way.
Again, last week, Carlsbad beating Clovis 2 out of 3 times. They won 7-6 over the Wildcats, 7-5 and 11-0. And the 7-6 game was won by Clovis. So a couple close games other than that blowout for Game 3. Time called. Coach Bowman going to go out to the mound, talk to his pitcher. Doesn't appear to be a change yet. Usually Coach Boyle is the one to take care of that, but Bowman will talk to both Martinez and Hernandez, his catcher, out there, and does not bring in the infield, so you can tell it's just a quick timeout.
Yeah, just making sure that they're on the same page. I mean, he has been pitching very well, like we said. It is the 5th inning, so they just want to make sure he's feeling all right, and it seems to be.
And Coach Cruz also calls over his batter, a few words for him. That's Nathan McIntosh.
Sure. When you have the time, might as well.
3-1 score, top of the 5th. Martinez goes the curve inside. A nice hard shot on the ground right to the shortstop. Fuentes throws a low one. Nice backhand dig at first base by Alvarado to keep it from going wild on the throw. And that'll go down as a 6-3, but big save for Alvarado there at first base and some good wrist action to pull that on a backhand there at the first bag.
Yeah, didn't get enough mustard on that throw, but nevertheless did get it accurate, and that's all that matters. Was able to corral it at first base and got the out.
Kobe Rivera checking in now, 5th in the order. He struck out to last out of the first inning and had a sac RBI in inning number 2. So that was the only run scored that coming off of his bat, Rivera out in the outfield. 1 ball, no strike now to Rivera. Martinez with the windup and the throw. Fastball outside for the ball. Count to 2-0. He definitely don't want to give them some, gift runners here as well, because it's only a 2-run lead at this point for Hobbs, and it's kind of a stalemate throughout much of this ball game.
Yeah, Clovis hasn't had a lot of opportunities.
3 of the 4 innings, no score has been tallied for either team. 2-0 pitch, fastball again, low and outside for ball 3. So getting well out of the count is the lefty Kobe Rivera. Bernie Lopez doing next. He walked in his last at bat. 2 hits for Jimenez and 1 for Culliver, the 3 for Clovis. Here's the 3-0. Fastball clips the inside corner for strike 1, and no chance he was going to swing on that one with Rivera, just kind of waiting to see where that ball was coming.
Yeah, it's been thrown both ways, and I love the fact that Martinez has been doing that.
Fastball, late swing, and slapped over to the first baseline in foul territory. So that will be now a 3-2 count, full count for Kobe Rivera. Lopez, Culliver, Tapia, and Garcia. 6-2 not in the order for Clovis. Just 1 down, though. Time called. Stepping out of the box is Rivera. Of course, 1 more series next week for the Eagles against Carlsbad. There'll be 1 at home, or 2 at home on Friday, but prior to that, it'll be a road game to Carlsbad. Here's the 3-2 pitch, fastball, and this is going to go out towards left field, shallow. It's going to start taking a curve and go foul outside the third baseline. Still going over there to make sure it wasn't going to stand was Armendariz, so good decision on his part, just in case that might have dropped down that halfway out in left field on that third baseline.
It was inches. It was one of those calls. If it was in tennis, you'd be questioning it, but it was just barely foul. Otherwise, if it would have dropped inside, it would have been a big mess, although there was nobody on. So that does help the Hobbs cause.
Probably a double at least, because I doubt anybody would try to stretch to third on that third baseline. Fastball hits the outside corner, and a slap in the bat is Rivera. He knew he should have swung the bat. He did not, and has his second strikeout of the ball game. That's the 6th issued by Josiah Martinez on the mound for the Eagles. 2 down for Clovis, and they definitely need to get some offense going here as they trail 3-1 to the Eagles in the top of the 5th.
Exactly, and Martinez is keeping these bats for the Wildcats very quiet so far.
Bernie Lopez up now. He's 0 for 1, ground to short and walked. Fastball comes low and ricochets off of Hernandez behind the plate. Sends it back out to his pitcher, Martinez, and gets himself back behind the plate. Nobody on the bases for the Clovis Wildcats, down by 2. Martinez going to go with the curveball inside, hit high in the air towards left center. Shifting over to the left is Camacho, and makes another catch on the run, one of his second of the game. And that will be out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down as Clovis not getting much offensive production going there. And that will be no hits, nobody on the bases, no runs scored. Bottom of the 5th, can the Eagles add on to their 3-1 lead? We'll see if the offense can get things going here at Sportsman's Park next in 30 seconds.
right, we are back live. Of course, we are at Sportsman Park, where Hobbs has got a 2-run lead, and with the call here is Ty Friend.
Yeah, kind of just hanging out here with the score at 3-1. All 4 runs that were scored in this game were in the third inning. 3 for Hobbs, 1 for the Wildcats. 3 hits in terms of the numbers there. And the first pitch curveball outside for the ball, as that is Gerardo Gonzalez. Or excuse me, that is Saul Armendariz at the plate. 8th in the order. Curveball inside near the ankle. Whoa, they got the strike call on that one. Count goes to 1-1. And some woos from the Hobbs Eagle fans.
That's a rough call, but also would have been a rougher hit.
He had a single back in the second inning. Now he's going to put it way up in the air towards the shortstop, who's going to backpedal a little bit into left field, and a catch over the shoulder for the shortstop for Clovis, Jimenez, for out number 1. You could hear a good snap on the bat there, but unfortunately kind of stopped short of going further out in left field for the catch by Jimenez.
Yeah, and it just took 3 pitches to get Armendariz out on that one, unfortunately.
Juan Camacho, bottom of the order for the Eagles, only finishing up their order the second time here tonight. Fastball outside for ball 1. He had a single back in the third inning. Did score a run, the second run of the ball game behind Armendariz. Josiah Martinez will start the order for the Eagles here in just a minute with a RBI double. Fastball down the middle, a little high for ball 2. So getting ahead of the count now is Camacho as he takes a look over to Coach Boyle, who was really not paying attention to him. He's way behind the coach's box now, closer to the Hobbs Eagle dugout. The 2-0 pitch, fastball, outside for ball 3. And boy, doing the splits that time was Garcia, the catcher. Not quite sure why he was sprawled out that much with no runners on.
Yeah, Camacho, the sophomore, had a really big hit against Roswell. Would like to do that again against this team.
Curveball inside and barely clips that inside corner as Camacho's getting ready to throw the bat and run up that first baseline for the walk, but he's got to come back for it.
We had an opening pitch, and that was with his younger brother.
Fastball, swing and a miss. Now strike 2. Now a full count. So getting back in it is Mendoza on the mound for Clovis. And Clovis squad is wearing some fatigue hats out there today. So kind of a green-colored hat. Took me a while to make sure that was what that was, and it is. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ooh, fastball got away from Mendoza, and that sails to the backstop. That will be a walk issued to Camacho. So a runner on for the Eagles at first, 1 down. That's going to be a time called as Garcia's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Doesn't want to get too wild now. Hobbs trying to add on to their 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 more innings after this, at least for regulation. Josiah Martinez stepping up now. He's 1 for 2. Ground out in the second in the first inning. And in the third, had an RBI double and scored a run.
Helping his own cause. You know, Clovis has only given up 91 so far runs in this season. They've been doing a whole lot better than they did last season.
Big leadoff at first for Camacho. Martinez showing bunt, pulls out of it. Ooh, almost they're going to go ahead and go with the steal attempt. Stopping in mid-track there was Camacho. Went about halfway, then started to go back. And it just took a little while for the throw to come to first, and he just continues on to second to get the steal for the Eagles.
That was a nice juke on that one, because if he would have ran back to first, of course, it would have been out. And if he would have ran to second and the catcher would have thrown to second, that could have been an out as well. But got the catcher to throw to first and got the safeness on the second steal.
Martinez completely pulled out of the bunt that time. He's got a 1-0 pitch coming to him. Fastball down the middle, high in the air towards the mound, off to the left a little bit is Mendoza. You know it called off by the third baseman on the third baseline as the ball kind of curved over just a bit. And making the catch is Lopez, who came up halfway up the third baseline for the flyout.
And look at that. The sun was trying to come out and help the Hobbs Eagle cause, but just could not affect that catch. Second out.
Gerardo Gonzalez now second in the order. He's 0 for 2, flew to second in the first, and ground to first in the third. 2 down, Hobbs the runner at second, and that is Camacho thanks to the steal. Fastball, swing and a miss for Gonzalez. And he lost his footing a little bit, and Coach Boyle shouting out some words of encouragement to him. Wants him to stay alive at the plate, try to advance the 3-1 score. Both teams still with 3 hits apiece, 1 error apiece as well. Time called as Gonzalez steps out of the box.
Exactly, and Hobbs just trying to add on to their lead. So far, both teams have hit 3 with 1 error.
Fastball, late swing, and there's steal attempt, sliding, and the ball gets past third base off the throw from Garcia from behind the plate. exactly what the doctor ordered for the Eagles. They try to chuck it down the third baseline from left field as the ball sailed past third, Rodriguez, but not in time. And that will score a run. Definitely important for the Eagles to extend the lead to 4-1 after Camacho comes home.
It looked like that throw once again was nearly on time. Could have been an out. Instead, it was mishandled and went to the outfield for an easy run for the Hobbs Eagles. 4-1 is now the score.
Second error for Clovis fielding. 0 for 2 on the pitch count here, and a curveball inside. Oh, wait, no, they're going to say it hit his inside elbow. That's going to be Gonzalez getting a freebie. He gets to go to first, hit by pitch. First time that's happened to Hobbs in this game.
Yep.
Already 2 been hit by a pitch from Clovis. And now that'll step up Jason Fuentes. He's been struck out twice. 0 for 2 at the plate. He's due for 1. Hobbs up 4-1. 3 in the third and now 1 in the first. It's a bad throwing in the infield. It's causing Clovis to get that run to come home for Hobbs. Curveball inside, very late swing by Fuentes for strike 1.
Tried to swing for the fences and instead just got nothing but air. He's had 13 RBIs so far this season, Fuentes has.
Big lead off at first by Gonzalez. Mendoza with the curve inside off the feet, and it rolls off the catcher's foot. Garcia, still a steal attempt. Ooh, they still get the throw down right at the second base, and barely getting there in time was Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez out there as he gets there and just kind of sidestepped that ball. It was real close. Nice recovery by the catcher, Garcia, who had kicked it off to the left at the beginning.
Yeah, Garcia has real good accuracy as far as catcher and gets close on those steals.
1-1 pitch, hits the inside of the plate and bounces off of it. Sliding into third is Gonzalez. I don't know if he needed to slide, but he wasn't quite sure after that last throw whether Garcia really had a handle on it or not. Time called. Coach Cruz is going to go out there and talk to his pitching staff and catcher as he doesn't want to have Hobbs add on to this 4-1 lead. We'll take a quick 30-second break. It's Hobbs 4, Clovis 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. We're back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at Sportsman's Park. Long timeout given to Coach Cruz and the pitching staff, but most of his time talking to the catcher that time, Garcia. Back to live action, 2-1 count. Fastball high for ball 3 as Fuentes still at the plate for the Eagles. Leading 4-1 here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 run coming home momentarily from Camacho. Quick reload. Mendoza with the fastball and the strike.
Yep.
Fuentes had to take a couple look backs there to the umpire to make sure what the call was. Now a full count, but 2 down for the Eagles. Runner at third is Gonzalez.
And they have 1 in scoring position. Hobbs able to score with 2 outs.
Curveball low, swing and a miss. I guess they're going to say that they did get a piece of it there, so he is going to stay alive. Didn't see the contact, but umpire's right behind the plate. So Fuentes holding on by a thread here, trying to keep this ball in play to try to get a run score for Gonzalez. Fastball at the end of the bat, going to go foul. He's going to have enough time to stay, at least for a chance for a catch. No, was trying to get over there was Tapia, but it went close to the Clovis dugout, then went over the top out of play towards the JV field.
Yeah, it looked like he thought maybe it might be a chance, but no, the ball sailed out.
So Fuentes still getting an opportunity to try to keep this in play. Full count against him with 2 down. Here's the windup in the throw. Fastball outside will be a walk. So runner going to be advanced for Fuentes. Second walk picked up by the Eagles. Now the cleanup man, Xavier Alvarado. He's 0 for 1. Did strike out, but had a walk and a stolen base earlier back in the second inning. Second inning. He's one of the lefties, so get a little bit of a different look for the Hobbs Eagle offense here. Runners at first and third on a 3-run lead.
Has the most RBIs for the Hobbs Eagles with 23. Would like to increase that, of course, by 2.
Eagles haven't had a hit since the third inning when they took a 3-1 lead. Mendoza with the fastball. Little flinch by Alvarado. Takes a strike on that one. Probably wish he would have swung the bat.
Well, sometimes, though, patience, you got to take those pitches, even when they're strikes, to get the next one.
Clovis got the force out at second. Fastball outside. Jumping up quickly as Garcia nails a throw to third, but it bounces off the turf, rolls up the third baseline, and rolls out of play. But that will be enough for a runner to advance to third and a run to score for the Eagles. That is Gonzalez coming home. And Clovis starting to shoot themselves in the foot now, trail 5-1 as 2 runs that come home for Hobbs.
Exactly. The second time, that was almost like deja vu. They had a throw to third. They thought they had the out instead. It ends up getting past them into the outfield, and that's the second run scored off of that kind of situation.
Throw was kind of spiked. Curveball inside, going to get hit hard out to right field on the ground. That will be a single for Alvarado, an RBI single, as that will bring home Fuentes. And the Eagles starting to get some contact now. Third run scored in the 5th inning, and now a 6-1 ball game in favor of the Eagles, and still 2 outs on the board. Jaden Hernandez comes in now. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly to left.
Yeah, and just like that, Hobbs is making those opportunities count. Yeah, you're right. The fact they've only had 4 hits so far, but they made the most of them, plus those walks.
Fastball high, popping up quick was Garcia behind the plate, and make sure the runner gets back, Alvarado, who just had the RBI single. Fastball down the middle, a little low for ball 2. Good eye for Hernandez.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think
Luke Parrish due in next for Hobbs if he gets an opportunity with the 2 outs on the board.
Would love to correct his mistakes from past.
Fastball, this is going to go out towards right field. I think it's going to hit the wall. It's going to keep rolling, and it'll be at least a double. It's going to be chased down at center by McIntosh, and he gets it in, and the run will score. An RBI double for Hernandez, his first hit of the ball game.
And Hobbs loves innings like this. They've had one in the 3rd, now one in the 5th, and they are loving the fact that they are doing so well with the bats that, they're just, like I said, once they get onto a roll, they cannot be stopped.
Camacho, Martinez, Gonzalez, and Alvarado have scored in this inning. It's 4 runs have come across.
Pinch runner, Nicholas Gonzalez out there on second.
Luke Parrish at the plate for the Eagles, 0 for 2 with the strikeout and ground to pitching mound. Still 2 outs, as you mentioned, and a runner at second. So Hobbs would definitely like to add on to that 7-1 lead as they have 4 runs here in the 5th. Curveball inside hits low near the base, or the home plate. Off to the left a bit for the ball. There's been a lot of low pitches, too, been hitting off the plate and some ricochets that haven't helped Clovis whatsoever.
Yeah, and before we were talking about a 2-run lead. Now we're possibly talking about a mercy rule ending.
Fastball and barely a swing on that one by Parrish, comes off the end of the bat. Probably like to have swung a little bit sooner on that one, but he still has a 1-1 count to work with and 2 down. Don't forget again, doubleheader tomorrow in Clovis. Be with you at 4:15 with the pregame show for Game 2, and then Game 3 right after that on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, just like during this game.
Hobbs is defending that 6-game winning streak at home.
Curveball inside. Ooh, they call that a strike, and that ball dropped way low, and Parrish kind of shaking his head on that one. Looks out to Coach Boyle. Gonna have to protect the plate now. 1-2 count to Luke Parrish. Trying to get his first hit of the ball game. Eagles have had 2 hits in a row with Alvarado and Hernandez. Mendoza looks back at second. Curveball inside, swing and a miss for Parrish, and then he will strike out for out number 3. But the Hobbs Eagles managed to get 2 hits. They leave 1 on base, get 4 runs to come across, and take a 7-1 lead into the top of the 6th inning. We'll take a quick break and come back live with more Hobbs Eagle baseball on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to live action here at Sportsman Park, and the game is afoot for the Hobbs Eagles as they manage to get 4 across in the bottom of the 5th. We're in the top of the 6th right now, and Hobbs has a 7-1 lead. With the call, here is Ty Friend.
Well, Clovis hasn't had a hit since the second inning. They got 2 singles in the second, 1 single in the first, but other than that, nothing else except just 1 walk. So not very many base runners coming on for Clovis, which has made a major mess for them with, again, that 7-1 Eagle lead. Hobbs getting 3 in the third and 4 in the 5th. 1 run for Clovis in the third. Clovis up to the plate now. Quinn Culliver, 7th in the order. He's 1 of 2 with a single and flew to left center. Takes the first curveball inside for the strike. Martinez with the next pitch quickly, fastball outside for ball 1. Martinez the starter for the Eagles. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Culliver. Tapia and Garcia 8th and 9th in the order for the Cats. 1-1 pitch goes low on the fastball for ball 2. So Jimenez has 2 of the 3 Clovis hits. 1 for Culliver. Fastball boy really chasing Culliver across the plate that time. Kind of lunged across and couldn't make contact. Second strike, 2-2 count now to Quinn Culliver.
It looked like he gave up during that swing halfway through it.
Martinez says no to a couple pitch calls there by Hernandez behind the plate. Finds one he likes. Shifting left is Hernandez. Curveball outside off the end of the back and a roll towards short. Fuentes loses it through his legs into left field. It's going to take a roll. So misjudgment there. I'm not sure if it took a little hop right before him or he just got his eyes off the ball that time. But he kind of looks back and goes, what the heck happened here? He looks at his webbing of his glove. It's not in there. So another error for the Eagles. That's going to be, I believe, number 2 in this ball game.
It is, but that's just mainly all about timing. You got to run. You got to be able to catch the ball. And then, of course, you're thinking about the throw. But unfortunately, it didn't get in his glove and his webbing. And so, unfortunately, went out to outfield.
Runner at first for Clovis. Curveball inside coming to Tapia. Hobbs fans not liking the calls, saying he's inconsistent behind the plate, though. But it's kind of a tough job there behind 80, 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Fastball outside, low and outside for ball 2 to Gabe Tapia. He was hit by a pitch back in the second, also got a walk. 2 balls and no strikes to Tapia. Martinez takes a peek at first to check the runner. Turns and fires a fastball off the middle of the bat, but foul territory towards the JV field on the right side. As it sails over the top of the Clovis dugout. Well, Hobbs Lady Eagles got a split last night in softball, right?
Exactly, they did. Against Carlsbad, now they're 7-1, both of them in district, so it's going to be interesting to see as they play the next set of series. I didn't realize, though, that they played doubles during their softball district.
Of course, the baseball version, 3 games in a series. Fastball on the outside corner for the strike call. 2-2 now to Gabe Tapia. Time called. Stepping out of the box is Tapia. Jackson Garcia last in the order for Clovis, and that will get them through 3 batting orders here. Hobbs, so far, is getting ready to wrap up their 3rd time around as well. Curveball, swing and a miss. Big lunge by Tapia. He's going to go down on a K. 7th strikeout on the pitching of Josiah Martinez for the Hobbs Eagles. That's out number 1. And they'll bring up bottom of the order now Jackson Garcia. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout and flew to right.
See, that looks like me when I'm batting. I just swing and hope he hits something, and he just hit nothing but air on that one.
1 down, runner at first for Clovis. They trail 7-1 here in the top of the 6th. Curve it inside and a foul over the Clovis dugout again, right side. Out of play.
Yeah, the senior catcher is trying to see if they can get the bats going for the Clovis Wildcats.
They definitely want to get Jimenez back up. He's 2nd in the order, a couple batters away now. 2 for 3 in the game with a couple of singles. Little delay now for Martinez. Decides to turn with the curve inside. Gets past him to the left of the mound. Right to short. Fuentes flicks it to second. And then gets the out as Montez tags the base and then gets tripped up as a runner rolls through his legs and flips him up in the air. And the out going to be at second. The runner going to stay at first, I believe. They're going to get a courtesy runner in for Clovis. But nice play there at second base to get the out.
Jerome Williams is going to be the runner for Clovis.
So top of the order now for the Wildcats, their 2nd out.
Yeah, Martinez just arguing about the fact that there was interference, but the call is going to be that the throw wouldn't have been in time anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered if there was interference or not. So there is still 1 out, though. So 2 outs down and 1 to go at the top of the 6th.
Eli Rodriguez starting the order for the 4th time. They had the courtesy runner come in, so the umpire is getting that noted on his game card here. Rodriguez is 0 for 3 right now, a couple strikeouts and then an error.
Actually, that's Jack's Pipecorn.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why that was another sub. They had a courtesy runner come in, but then also who you just mentioned, Pipecorn had a pinch hit single in that win against Carlsbad last week, the 7-6 win. So he getting his first opportunity at the plate for the Wildcats in this one. Martinez going the distance so far for the Eagles, has a runner on with 2 down. Fastball down the middle, and the strike call.
Yeah, Clovis a little desperate. They're running out of innings right now, and they need to get some runs. They want to continue playing or get this victory.
No balls on a strike. Quick reload for Martinez. Fastball outside. Good jump over to the right and a throw down the first baseline, as Hernandez definitely wanted to throw the runner out at first, and he was popping up as soon as that ball was even close to the plate. Count goes to 1-1 with 2 down. Force out at second for the Eagles. Martinez with a curveball inside. Check swing out to right center. That might drop shallow. Nope, coming up to get it in time is Camacho. Good read as he shifted over to the right to make the catch. I was kind of wondering about that, the way that ball was kind of moving around a little bit there. And that is out number 3. So Rodriguez will take a seat, and the 3rd out against the Wildcats. No hits, 1 left on base, no runs come across. The Eagles going to the bottom of the 6th. 7-1, 6-run lead over the Clovis Wildcats, back in 30.
Welcome back to action here at Sportsman's Park. 1 of 3 tomorrow, of course, being the doubleheader in Clovis. But Hobbs enjoying the lead right now. Bottom of the 6th, it is 7-1, and here's the call with Ty Friend.
Eagles with 5 hits, Clovis with 3, Clovis with 3 errors, and Hobbs with 2. So if you have more hits and less errors than your opponent, usually that's good success, and that's why it's a 7-1 ball game. Hobbs at the plate, Christian Montez there. He's 0 for 2, ground to short and struck out. Fastball comes down the middle, and Mendoza able to convert on a strike call there. No movement on the bat for Montez. He's 7th in the order. Armendariz and Camacho to round it out. Curveball drops low. Good eye for Montez to take the ball call, and a 1-1 count.
And it fell out of the sky basically and hit the ground almost, as it was really low.
1 ball and 1 strike. No down here. Bottom of the 6th. Slated for 7. Fastball outside for the ball. Actually, that's Thomas Aurelio. He is the senior who's just stepped in at the plate, getting his first action. He got in for a play last week against Roswell in, I believe, the final game. So Aurelio, one of the seniors, one of the 7 on the team. Fastball outside. He'll get a walk. Good way to step in and get a base runner for the Eagles. So Aurelio came in for Montez on that play, on that at-bat, and now has a walk to his name. That's the 4th walk issued to the Hobbs Eagles in this one. Armendariz going to come in now, the 8th in the order. 1 for 2. He had a single, a run, and a stolen base, and then also flew to short. Runners at first for the Eagles, no down. Had one of the 3 singles that the Eagles have gotten in this game. 5 hits overall, though, for Hobbs. A double from Hernandez. Takes the first pitch, a fastball low for ball 1. Eagles trying to get into their 4th round of at-bats. Down to the bottom of the 3rd go-around here. Fastball down the middle. Half-hearted swing there for Armendariz as he kind of shoved the ball or shoved the bat towards the ball that time. Didn't get the extension he wanted on that one.
Exactly. Didn't get the contact either. Wanted to get something, got nothing out of it.
1-1 pitch coming, curveball, late swing, and it's going to go towards third, but a nice snag, diving on the ground with his left hand is Lopez, able to pull it down and make the throw over to Tapia. Boy, what a nice save on that play. The ball was just barely on the tip of that inside left third base bag there. I don't know how he got that glove down quick enough to scoop or actually put up a wall to stop that ball, but he did. Nice job for Lopez to get the out on that one.
Yeah, not only did he corral it in time, but he was also able to deliver it to first base without any problems and got that first out.
And I believe they just made a substitution. Looks like Canyon Johnson in now for the Hobbs Eagles.
Correct.
He's played some little DH action throughout the season. Also pitches for Hobbs, one of the seniors, and tallest kid on the team at 6'3". Definitely's got some power for you. So he comes in for Juan Camacho. Mendoza goes to the fastball a little high for ball one. Ninth in the order. 1 ball, no strike. Mendoza's been on the mound the full time so far for Clovis. Time called. Johnson comes out, gets a little bit of a couple practice swings and doing the washing machine with the elbows now.
Johnson hasn't hit too much. 3 hits, 6 runs, 7 RBIs though.
Curveball inside, lets it drop low for ball 2. Good eye there for the big kid.
He's not a fast runner, but he does hit well, and when he can, to get another RBI.
That's why he typically plays that DH spot. Long delay here for the pitch, and a fastball over the top is Johnson for the strike. Swing and a miss, 2-1 count now. Still a 7-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Eagles just trying to add on some insurance runs.
Johnson's been very smart at the plate. He's only had 6 strikeouts so far this season.
Fastball down the middle, a little low for ball 3. We got a full, no, not a full count, 3-1 count now. Runner at second for the Eagles. Here's Aurelio, the senior. Big leadoff for him at second now. He definitely wants to come home and add on to this 6-run lead. Fastball well outside and high for Canyon Johnson. He'll take the walk. And now that's 5 walks, and that's going to be a changeup here, Coach Cruz. He's had some guy warming up in the bullpen here. Doesn't always happen in high school baseball. A lot of times guys just shift from positions. It looks like that's a number 1 if I'm reading my numbers correctly without my reading glasses or binoculars out here.
So Zane.
He's jogging in right now as Coach Cruz didn't waste any time. He just points and sends him. Yeah, right. Zane Eurostay is the man that looks like he's coming in, one of their seniors. Eurostay checks in. Looks like just a 1-to-1 substitution. And for the Hobbs Eagles, courtesy runner Juan Camacho is going to go in for Johnson. Camacho was the guy that he replaced at the plate to swing the ball bat a couple times. We'll take a quick breather here and some warm-up pitches for the Clovis Wildcats, their first relief on the field. Hobbs up 7-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 out. We'll come back in 60 seconds.
Welcome back, as we just found out that the JV has won on a walk-off. 3-2 is the final against, of course, the Clovis JV. We've got a good one here, 7-1, as we got a pitching change for Clovis, their first one of the game. And here with the call, it is Ty Friend.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Eagles lead 7-1, as you mentioned. 1 down. They have a runner at first and second. And now we're down to one Josiah on the field. Josiah Mendoza is going to exit as Zane Eurostay steps in, the senior pitcher for Clovis. So just 1 Josiah for the Eagles still on the rosters. Hobbs will step up now, again up by 6. And that will be at the plate. Josiah Martinez to start the order, the lefty. He's 1 of 3, an RBI double scored a run. Fastball outside and shifting over to make sure it didn't go wild was Garcia, the catcher. So Josiah Martinez, with that again mentioned RBI double, scored a run and also got another base due to a wild throw. Force out is at third for the Clovis D, with runners at first and second for the Eagles.
And with Josiah Martinez on helping us cause, this could be a 6th win of the season.
Fastball goes low and outside from Uriste for ball 2. Good eye, getting ahead of the count now is Martinez. Gonzalez, Fuentes, and Alvarado due up next, 2nd through 4th spot in the lineup. Eagles getting some big leadoffs at first and second. Looking back at second is Uriste. Taking some time to wind up in the throw. Fastball down the middle, swing and a miss, and losing his balance a little bit was Martinez that time, and kind of backpedaling just a bit to the right.
Would rather take that swing and a miss than a pop-up fly any day.
2-1 count now to Martinez.
10 RBI so far this season. Probably would like to make 11 with 2 on right now and 1 out.
He's the first guy to beat this new pitcher without the same first name.
Right.
Long delay before the next pitch from Uriste. Turns and fires. It'll change up outside. And, ooh, boy, got biting on that one did Martinez. Nowhere close to coming across the plate with the bat. And kind of just flinches across the plate. And ball was well outside to the left. So takes the strike on that one. Count goes to 2-2. And he was smiling big after that. He knows he got lured in on that pitch.
Exactly.
Runners still urgent to try to get around here to add on to a 6-run lead. 1 down for the Eagles. Here's the 2-2. Fastball down the middle off the end of the bat. Goes past the right of the pitching mound out to second. And a bad throw coming from Culliver off to the left of the first bag to Tapia. Pulls him off the bag, and he had to go chase it outside the first baseline a little bit. That will get runners at now on all 3 bases. They are loaded. And that should be the 3rd error for Clovis. Yes, it is.
That brings up Cole Kessner, his first time up to bat today. And he's going to be doing some damage, or trying to anyway, as he's got a 364. He's also got 6 RBI so far to his name, 12 hits and 6 runs.
So Kessner taking that second slot now.
Kessner has 3 doubles.
Comes in for Gerardo Gonzalez, who did get on base when he was hit by a pitch, scored a run after that. Uriste comes with a curve inside and backing up Kessner just a bit. Of course, he had that big home run against Roswell this past week. And that was here, that doubleheader, and just on the left side, deep left field. 1-0 count now to Kessner. Bases loaded here. Definitely like to pick up that RBI. Fastball keeps it outside of the plate, and Kessner doesn't come across enough to get that bat extended, and takes the strike on the swing there. Count to 1-1.
Looked like he didn't quite have the angle anyway, but nevertheless, swing and a miss.
Actually, that was the 4th error for Clovis in this game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball down low for another ball.
Yeah, Clovis has doubled up on errors. They've got 4. Hobbs has 2.
A walk would be an RBI for Kessner. The bases are loaded right now, and he's 1 up on the pitch count. Uriste winds and throws. Fastball clips the outside corner for strike 2. Evens up the count at 2-2.
It's getting more interesting again as Cole has to defend the plate.
Someone back behind the clouds, back to an overcast situation, and winds have died down just a bit.
Yeah, they're going from right to left across the field.
Fastball, late swing by Kessner. He's going to strike out. That will be the 8th strikeout for the Eagles in this game. Now 3rd in the order, Jason Fuentes. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Did walk in his last at bat and scored a run eventually. Still 7-1 here at the bottom of the 6th. This 6th inning kind of dragged a little bit, Ron. Again, 1 pitching change for Clovis, but Eagles just getting some base runners and trying to make it convert here. Have not scored a run, though, in this next to last inning.
Hoping it'll drag out as we get a few more runs in.
Curveball inside, drops low for ball 1. Runners have to return to the bases.
In fact, we have the winning run right there at batting. If he gets a home run, this will be the end of the game.
Well, that's correct. That would be a 10-run rule, and that has to go through 5 innings, which we are already into the 6th. So, like to seal the deal here. Fastball outside and high for ball 2. And again, walk is going to get another score come across here.
1 run closer to the end of the game. Of course, if it does get into the 7th inning, unless Clovis can get back into the lead, Hobbs won't have to worry about batting.
But there are 2 outs to deal with. Fastball high for ball 3. That was getting kind of close to that strike zone, but definitely it's got a few pitches the Eagles can mess with here.
And Hobbs, once again, has been very good, very productive with 2 outs. They've done a whole lot better than they did last season as far as that goes, so they've improved in that aspect as well.
3-0 count. He can play with a couple pitches here. Fastball high, and that will be a walk for an RBI for Fuentes. So that will score the run as Eagles extend to 8-1 here. Is coming across the plate for Hobbs was Aurelio, the senior, trying to get that spit out there.
Yeah, and looks like the one person that Clovis did not want to see up there, Xavier Alvarado, is up now to bat.
Yeah, he's 1 of 2, an RBI single. Also walked, stolen base, a run scored, 1 strikeout.
Yeah, last at bat he had 2 RBIs.
Getting bases loaded once again. First pitch coming inside and gets a piece of it. Ball flips out towards the third base, but they're going to say it hit down first in foul territory. And chasing it down was Garcia up the third base line.
Just got real lucky it didn't ricochet off his shin or his knee or anything else like that.
Mentioned these 2 teams are close to each other. The Max Preps poll. Hobbs at 12 and Clovis at 13. Hobbs with a 10. Oh, that was my old numbers there. It was 12 and 13, wasn't it? Looking at my old Max Preps poll. I got too many stacks of these sitting here. 12 for Hobbs, 13 for Clovis.
And there's a half a game difference between the 2 totals.
Hobbs 9.7 strength of schedule and Clovis at 9. Eagles at 12-8 and 11-8 for Clovis in terms of record. Hopefully Hobbs making it to 13 after this win here in the first of the 3 series. Long delay here for Eurostay. Get me a chance to babble. Fastball, blowing outside and kind of spun around a little bit. It was Alvarado. Did not get the full extension he wanted on that one. Took his helmet on after that. Shaking his head. Definitely would like to have that one back.
Oh, definitely. But definitely wants to make this next one count as he sees the opportunity to get more RBIs out of this one with all 3 bases loaded.
No balls and 2 strikes to Alvarado with 2 down. Bases are loaded here at Sportsman's Park. Just want to get this into the outfield on the ground. It would be nice.
If you can clear the bases, that would also end the game.
Pitch finally comes to Eurostay. Fastball outside for ball 1. Again, ball was dropped momentarily by Garcia, but I think he's trying to get those runners off their bases and a little bit of gamesmanship behind the plate.
Yeah, and that would be very aggressive base running at that point.
Out time called as Garcia will head out and talk to his relief pitcher, Zane Eurostay.
Well, once again, JV just won moments ago with a walk-off. 3-2 was the final. Very nip and tuck right there as they played against Clovis to get that victory.
Again, we're on a different schedule this week due to some umpire shortages, so the games Wednesday and Thursday, 1 today, 2 tomorrow, and back to a regular Thursday, Friday schedule next week when Hobbs takes on Carlsbad for the final matchup of the district schedule. 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Alvarado staying alive at the plate. 8-1 lead. Fastball low off the end of the bat. Diving catch. The second baseman was about halfway between first and second. Comes back towards second. Dives out, makes the catch. That was Culliver for out number 3. So the Hobbs Eagles, in terms of offensive production, they do get some effective base running somewhat. They'd get a couple of walks out there. They do score 1 run. Unfortunately, can't get converted more than that. But 8-1 your score. We go to the final inning. It's got to have to be at least 7 runs scored for Clovis or to take a lead. And maybe the Eagles won't have to come back up once again to the plate. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back live to Sportsman's Park, as this is the 7th inning, final chance for Clovis to be able to get back in this game. They are down 8-1, 7 innings, or 7 runs, I should say, is what they need to get back to be able to get this thing tied. But, of course, Hobbs is playing very strong in the defense. And with the call, here is Ty Friend.
Scoring in this game, Hobbs was up 3-1 in the 3rd inning. 4th inning, they added 4 more to make it 7-1. And then 1 more in the 6th just recently here.
No, that was the 5th inning.
Yeah, 8-1 your score as we go to the top of the 7th. 5-3 hit count. Hobbs by 2 there. Have 2 less errors than Clovis at a 4-2 count. And again, 3 up, 3 down with not 7 runs scored by Clovis would be game in the books for Hobbs. And that would improve their record of 13-8 on the season. Of course, they would be 3-1 in terms of the district record.
We have a change in pitch. Looks like that is Nicholas Gonzalez, who is now pitching for the Hobbs Eagles, taking relief for Josiah Martinez.
You got his numbers?
I sure do. And let's see. His numbers are, I know he has 3 saves. He's got 3.25 ERA. He's got 1 win, 1 loss, and it's his 11th appearance on the plate or on the mound.
Did see him against Roswell last week as well. Fastball comes down the middle, and holding on it for the strike is Javier Jimenez, second in the order for Clovis. He is 2 for 3, has the best numbers against the Eagles pitching so far with 2 singles and a run score. Did ground to short as well. Curveball comes over the top of his helmet to the netting behind for the ball. Count even to 1-1.
Gonzalez has 15 strikeouts to his name for this season.
Still just 3 hits for Clovis, 2 for Jimenez, 1 for Culliver. So not the bats that Coach Bruce wanted to see in this one. Here's a 1-1 pitch, curveball inside. Now he gets some extension on towards left field. That's going to go towards the wall. Hits the wall and bounces off. Picked up by Armendariz. Sends it into his shortstop, Fuentes. That'll be a double. And, boy, pretty excited out there for Clovis is Jimenez, clapping his hands real hard there at second base. But he's got 3 out of the 4 hits for Clovis.
And they haven't done anything since the 3rd inning. So, yes, they are definitely happy to see something going on after 3 innings of goose egg score.
The lefty comes in now, Josiah Mendoza. Gonzalez goes with the curveball down low and inside for ball. Mendoza was subbed out there at pitcher, but he is staying in as a DH as well, so he gets to stay in the batting rotation here. 1 ball and no strikes. Pass with where the fastball comes down the middle, swing and a miss for Mendoza. Count goes to 1-1.
And Martinez ends up with 40 Ks. I'll get that right, 40 Ks this season.
Curveball inside, fouled off, over to the first base coach for Clovis. Gonzalez, one of the 7 seniors on the team at the mound here for the Eagles. So that's a good number finish for Martinez, only giving up 3 hits in this ball game and just 1 run. Curveball comes through. Martinez or Gonzalez out to center field on the roll, right across second base. So that will be a single for Mendoza. So back-to-back hits picked up by Clovis. They got runners at first and third. And that brings up the cleanup man, who hasn't been very effective so far, Nathan McIntosh. He's 0 for 3, flew to first, ground to first, and then ground to short. So he's kept everything in the infield. And a force out for the Eagles at second if need be. But they have a couple more runs wanting to come across. They're down by 7 to the Eagles here in the top of the 7th. Fastball, low and outside, and having to shuffle around a little bit is Hernandez to keep that from going wild. And definitely is a runner at third, so any mistake behind the home plate, and Clovis is going to start chipping away at that lead.
Yeah, just hoping to get his aim a little bit better. Nicholas Gonzalez as he is on the mound.
Fastball. A little high for ball 2. That was the 5th hit of the ball game for Clovis. Now they have 1 more hit than they do errors now, 5-4.
Definitely wanting to rally in this one.
And this is going to be a wobbler out to short. Fuentes is flicking it to second. A double play on the way, and they get it. Eagles take out second and first. As that Fuentes to second, gives it off to Montez, fires it over to Alvarado at first. So bunches of guys getting involved in that one off a 6-4-3, and that will be 2 down.
And that's going to ruin the 8-1 possible win that they had, like they had last year. But that's all right. Hobbs still in the lead.
Clovis sneaks across that run. That was Culliver got across. So now 8-2, but 2 down, 1 out away from game over here at Sportsman's Park for game 1 of the triple-header.
Kobe Riviera at the plate.
Fastball, he gets a crack at it in shallow territory. The second baseman for the Eagles shifts over to the right and makes the catch on the green stuff. That was Montez for out number 3. That will put the game in the books for the Hobbs Eagles. So a couple of hits for Clovis. They do get 1 to come across. Nobody left on the bases, and that is a final. Your Hobbs Eagles winning 8-2. They go to 3-1 in district and an overall record of 13-8 on the season as Clovis drops to 10-9 and another loss on their El Cala. We'll take a quick 2.5-minute break and get you the Hobbs Eagle postgame show here at Sportsman's Park. Come back with us live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back live as we're at the end of game number 1 of this one right here. It ended up being 8-2 was the final. Hobbs was victorious over Clovis, and for the numbers, we go to our friend, Ty Friend.
Yep, game 1 of this triple-header, 2 tomorrow in Clovis, but the Eagles come out victorious again, 8-2. Hobbs getting 3 runs in the third. They were up 3-1 at that point. 4 more in the fifth to make it 7-1. Add another insurance run in the sixth, 8-1, and Clovis needed to get 7 runs, at least go into the giving a chance for Hobbs to get one more at-bat, but they only get 1 in the 7th. Looking at the numbers in this game individually, first for Clovis, they had one guy with multiple hits. That was Javier Jimenez, the shortstop. He went 3 for 4, had a double, couple of singles, and a run scored, so good productive bat for him. Nobody else in multiple hits, but they got a single hit from Josiah Mendoza. He went 1 of 2, a single and a walk, also was hit by a pitch. Quinn Culliver went 1 for 3. He had a single. Also got on due to an error and did score a run after that. That's it. Other than those 3 guys, only guys that got hits in this game, a total of 5 hits in the contest. They were struck out 7 times versus Clovis. They had 3 walks and were left on base 7 times, and double the errors of the Eagles, 4 compared to the Eagles' 2. So a couple of pitchers also went in the game. Josiah Mendoza, the starter, and Zane Urostay came in relief. For your Hobbs Eagles, nobody getting multiple hits, although several guys with 1 apiece. including Josiah Martinez. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI double. He did get a run scored as well for the Eagles. Got on base a second time due to an error. Xavier Alvarado went 1 for 3 with an RBI single, scored a run, had a walk and a stolen base. Jaden Hernandez went 1 for 3 with an RBI double. And it was Saul Armendariz went 1 for 3 with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Last but not least, Juan Camacho 1 for 1. He had a single, 2 runs scored, a couple of and 1 walk, and a stolen base. And Canyon Johnson got on base once with a walk as he was coming in for Juan Camacho. Should also mention, too, Aurelio, the senior, had 1 walk as he came in to bat for Christian Montez and also scored a run after that for the Eagles. So he was 0 for 0 at the plate with just that walk and no other stats on that one. So Hobbs finishing up with a total of 5 hits. They had 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, and left on 5 runners. Only 2 errors, again, half of what Clovis got. So not the most potent offensive number and production in this game, but it wasn't a game that you really needed that. Hobbs had a lot of people getting on base, several guys getting a chance to hit. In fact, they had 5 different guys coming up with at least 1 hit in this contest. Nobody getting multiple hits, but, hey, you take the win any way you can get them and get your record up to 3-1 in district.
And Hobbs isn't unfamiliar with the fact that they have not been able to hit nearly as much as they like to. They've had several wins where they've just been walking, and yeah, that happened today again. But you know what? Sometimes the bats hit at the right time. You get 5 in 1 inning, and that's definitely something you got to be happy about, even if you're not hitting as nearly as much as you would like to. But yes, Clovis going away with a loss on this one. The Hobbs victory gets them their 6th in a row for the home team, and they're not going to be playing again, of course, until next week when they play Carlsbad. So they're going to be going on the road tomorrow and hoping that they can get that same magic, same muster as they face them again. They face this Wildcat team again for 2 more.
Of course, last year a 2-1 record with the Eagles losing 1 game to Clovis, but still doing better than them in the district standings at second, where Clovis and Roswell at the bottom at 3rd and 4th. I also want to mention our winning pitcher, Josiah Martinez, running his record to 6-2, had Nick Gonzalez coming in late in relief as well to help that W cause. So Eagles winning 8-2. They are now 3-1 in district, and we'll head, as Ron said, to Clovis tomorrow. We'll have a doubleheader in that action. Eagles with a 4:15 pregame show, 4:30 for the first pitch, and then the second game after that. Ron, let's talk about those sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Baseball this season.
Sure, and once again, we want to thank, say that 10-1 the last 11 games against Clovis. We got to continue doing that. But we want to thank our sponsors. Of course, without them, we would not be on the air. Talking about the Coffee House, Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, The Model, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, First American Bank of Hobbs, along with Hydrotech Services, Iberstand Media, and Divine Energy. Thank you very much, and we appreciate doing this game for you guys.
Again, final score from Sportsman's Park tonight, 8-2. Your Eagles victorious over Clovis. Again, tomorrow at 4:15 for the pregame show. Hope you have a great rest of a Wednesday night out there, and we'll see you tomorrow up in Clovis.